everyone. Welcome to episode 20 of Epsilon Sun. A wonderful campaign in the story of Corruption of Salone, Chapter 3. And with me, I have a miraculous cast of players, willing and able to give me their time and attention, and I hope you do too, with Aurora, our fighter cleric, kicking us off. Say hello.
Hello.
We have Karik, our resident Tortle Druid. Say hello, sir.
Hello.
Lokar, barbarian monk, who is certainly not raging.
Hi.
Hi. Magrim, Mr. Kato, our resident wizard. Say hi.
Hola.
Hola.
¿Cómo
And
estás?
our plagued warlock with COVID, Nissa. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, guys, last time we left off with a delicious inspiration up for grabs. Who wishes to provide us with that session recap? Don't all jump at once.
As always, I'm fully capable of doing it, but the opportunity is for anyone else.
I can do it.
All right, we have a Pepper turn.
Yes. So we started last session after we have murdered the elves, and the Lord Kalik is announcing the next fight, and the Beastmaster Morgan comes out to bring out the Panga Wolves and 3 Panga Cubs, and Kalik is not pleased at all. In fact, he is so mad that he wants to kill him and his entire line. And he does so with Finger of Death, turning Beastmaster Morgan into a zombie, and also killing the Panga Wolf mother, and the poor pups have to run back into inside and save themselves. And Kalik announces that he has a worthy enemy for this fight, for this occasion, and found inside the mines from the Templars, and it is something that we have maybe set free, maybe always been there, who knows? But what comes up is an eldritch being that is very powerful, and we see every gladiator coming out of their corner trying to charge this thing and do what they can to put it down. But it is without much. We don't get far into this until this monster starts tearing the gladiators apart, and it becomes more tough and tough to stay up. And we have Cork here, who gets flung off and almost dying. Unfortunately, gets saved by Aurora and the crowd's favor. And we also have a bunch of people dying. Naev tries to die again, but unfortunately Aurora won't let that happen. And then, as we get into the second phase of this monster fight, the Candrel gets a critical hit, and suddenly his spear becomes filled with radiant power, and he says to the fellow gladiators that he has other things to do, and he rushes towards Kalik, and now time slows down, and we see the sister, what she called herself, well, we don't know that, but Karik knows that, shoots a sunbeam at Kalik, who suddenly awakes, because he has been funneling this whole time our power, everyone's life force in the arena, the viewers and the gladiators, and suddenly he has to get ready to fight back. And then Tithian comes in with a shocking grasp and gets him in position for the Candrel to throw his super cool powered up spear into him, and also Aurora shooting a bow that misses. And absolutely murdering Kalik, but he seems not that. He seems like he had a smile on his face before he died. Who knows what that means? But we see Tithian and all his company getting suddenly this psychic pain where they can't even move and do nothing, and suddenly the whole arena goes into chaos because everyone suddenly realizes there have been people dying all around, their life force been taken, and out of the woodwork, the Order comes and starts killing everything that is not goblinoid,
Pew, pew,
and
pew.
even more chaos ensues. And meanwhile, this eldritch being still in the middle has to be fought down. And so the party partially stays back, trying to get this thing to at least have to fall down this tunnel to give everyone some time to escape. Who knows what's up with that? And so we get it to loosen its grasp and fall down this tunnel it came up on. And meanwhile, the Kandrel helps Tithian to get out of his psychic pain. Somehow, we don't know, we don't see it. And we all start running out. Karik turns into a bear, and we starting run out, following Karik, who knows where to go next. And as we are trying our best to avoid the chaos that has ensued, with us is Lycian and Naev, still alive. And we hear from the ziggurat Tithian speak out that he's now crowning himself the new king of Gerst, and his first action is to set every slave free. There's no more slaves, so technically we are free. So that's cool. But well, not everyone. Like, we're all kind of iffy about what's gonna happen now with.
Yeah, people
It's
own
already
slaves.
chaos.
Now what's happening?
Yep. And we meet Jasper, and we all know, and he is himself the Flame of the Wurn, but the party is kind of eager to move on. They're still, pretty battered and bruised, and they want to find a safe space to rest. At least what they're thinking. And so Jasper continues to take them deeper into Gerst, and finally to Undergerst. And there we see that Gerst has been built upon like an ancient city that is just beneath, and you can see like different parts of it, and go even deeper, like 1.5 hours, even deeper and deeper and deeper. And we talk a little about that. We hope that the Veil Alliance has a way to deal with Kellock, because all of us are confident that he's not dead yet. And this could cause problems if there's nothing to do about it. But Jasper has no idea. But he is like, well, you're gonna meet the head honcho of the Veil Alliance, so he might know. You can just ask him. And so we decide to keep going down. There's like a maze that we have to go through to finally land down at the Zoros, I think. And right, wasn't it? That's another place beneath. That's
Sorrows?
different from the ancient cities.
The
From the ancient city.
Sorrows, yeah.
Yeah, it's called the
Sorrows.
Sorrows.
Yeah, is that right? Didn't I say
Yeah,
that?
the Sorrows. I'm sorry, I thought you said the Burrows or the Thurrows.
Oh, no, okay, no, okay.
I heard the horrors.
The
So-
horrors.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
all
all
work,
right,
both of them, I
honestly.
suppose.
All works, all works.
The horrors.
It just works.
Yeah.
And right there, we see Romilia is waiting for us, and he is a little bit disappointed that we took longer than expected, but we're all still battered and bruised, so it's understandable. And she presents us the head honcho of the Veil Alliance. Oro's dead, hey, yay. And yes, that's kind of where we ended on. He kind of said hello to his daughter.
Indeed. And I will bring you back into that scene. In just a second here. Mhm.
God, we should take that into account.
The echo of the call of the arena rings still in your ears. In the near silent cavern that is known as the Sorrows. With an actual exit plan brought to you by Karik the Orc, you managed to find your way out of the chaos and meet up with a member of the VA, an old acquaintance for one, an indebted friend for another, and an absolute stranger for most. Above, things have most certainly changed. King Karik is dead. Tithian has assumed the crown in the chaos and announced all slaves are now free. Templars were writhing in pain at the point of Kalik's death, Aurora seemingly unaffected, and the Order, the VA, and the Old Guard are all at each other's throats. However, you were led through this labyrinth tunnel by the flame of the Warrens and brought you to a place much not better than the Warrens above. Beneath the vibrant, chaotic city of Gerst, a sprawling, decayed underworld known as Undergerst breathes. In a distant corner of this forsaken place is a tiny community known as the Sorrows, a slum town buried in shadows where hope is little more than a memory and survival comes at a steep cost. This labyrinth of shattered stone and debris stretches far beyond sight of where you stand, a stain of a city that never cared for its past, as it's carved itself into the ancient columns and brickwork of the ancient Undergerst. The Sorrows is a place where the air clings with a heavy, sour stench of rot, wet stone, and the decay of forgotten dreams. Trash heaps and jagged boulders choke these passages, forming treacherous routes that wind through the gloom into the darkness beyond your perceptive range. Loose debris constantly shifts underfoot, and the echo of falling stones is a constant reminder of the instability and perhaps chaos of the earth above. The inhabitants of the Sorrows are as lost as the tunnels themselves, with beggars, thieves, and the outcasts of society who find refuge among the shadows. Many have resigned themselves to a life of scrounging in the detritus, but in their eyes flickers a spark of defiance. For the underworld, at least, has been a place of freedom. Lanterns burn weakly with a pitiful amber glow, illuminating alleyways filled with grime, while the sound of dripping water echoes endlessly through the cracked stone caverns. High above, embedded into the tunnel rock face, and illuminating the cavern are a number of natural crystals that emanate a soft glow, offering, at very best, dim light throughout the Sorrows. To enter the Sorrows is to descend into Gerst's forgotten sins, a place where only the desperate and those with no other choice would dare to tread. Here the very air feels heavier, pressing down on the soul like a weight that threatens to drag you deeper into the darkness. And despite the shelter from the aching heat on the surface, the Sorrows brings its own hazards. Standing before you is a noble-looking man with a well-manicured mustache who addresses Aurora directly with a slight, soft smile and a misplaced casual greeting. Hi, baby. I'm glad you could make it here safely.
Why the fuck are you here, Dad?
That is quite a question. Probably warrants a discussion rather than standing out here. You look like you've been through hell, but still standing. Glad to see that's the case.
Hell? Your stupid fucking plan threw me into the fucking slave pens with a bunch of fucking cannibals!
I'm gonna carefully hold Aurora's arm and try to keep her.
Alessandro, he's just standing there with his hands kind of his fingers interlaced together in front of him, looking down at his daughter, and it's almost expressionless at her outburst. Are you done?
I'm gonna kick your fucking ass. And I think Aurora's gonna try and bum rush him.
No.
But, this is holding you back as.
No, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is he your dad? What the fuck, Aurora?
I'm gonna use
The
this telekinetic.
screaming obscenities that are coming out of Aurora are not decipherable. They're in some sort of coded language.
Luca had let go of you, like he was. He let you go, but this is holding you back. So.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think you all can see that Luca is just as unhappy as Aurora, just not as spoken about it right now. As he kind of thinks at some thoughts in his head and puts some things together. And yeah, he's like leading us in, or
He's just standing there at the moment, waiting for Aurora to calm her tits.
I mean, I'm not really in a physical position to beat anyone. So if I'm being held back, I will eventually be forced to calm down.
Yeah.
That's good because I was ready to cast Hold Person. You got free
Oh,
from this.
Yeah.
I was ready to use telekinetic.
It's like 1,000 things preventing Aurora from getting to her dad. No. Okay, no. Alessandro, with his very calm posture, not reacting to the obscenities or the aggressive tone to Aurora, waits politely, and occasionally when there's this tirade of obscenities, he kind of does like a nod and say, like he's looking upwards, like, haven't heard that one before. But nevertheless, does not move an inch, despite Aurora's attempts to tackle her father. He looks at each one of you with a decisive look, like he's weighing each of you up, and then returning back to Aurora, who hopefully is calming down. I'm
Are you
aware.
calming down?
Are you calming down, Aurora?
I mean, there's this seething anger, but I mean, she's not actively trying to get free.
Hold me back. Like one of those like dogs on the other side of like a gate. They're barking.
Yeah.
No, they bark. She's more gritting her teeth. You can hear the bones grinding.
Ooh.
Alessandro addresses all of you. This is not exactly where we expected to meet, but there are other factions at play that we did not expect to rise up out of the woodwork following our plan. This has been a long time coming, and each of you have played a vital role in that, and for that, the Veiled Alliance are eternally grateful for your assistance.
Luca just rolls his eyes and kind of steps forward, like kind of in between him and Aurora. And all right, listen here. The two of us, you and me, we have a problem. All right, because I know you're responsible for putting your daughter into the slave pens. Whatever, I don't really care, but what I care about is, you know that Melanda was put into prison also then. You're probably even the reason why she got caught in the first place, which would make sense. Out of all people, she's usually not the one to get caught. And why the fuck did we have to stay in this shitty slave pen for like a week, and you have not lifted a single finger to do anything to help her. And I need to explain right now, before I want to hear any more of this shitty stuff from you, okay? I don't really fucking care.
I can understand your tension and your
I don't think you can.
aggression. Let it be known that everyone has sacrificed more than probably you think they have. You have spent a week within the pens when I've been dealing with this situation for decades. So if you're done whining, I have answers for all of your questions. And some of those answers
not an
may
answer.
not be tolerable. But the Veiled Alliance achieved their goals. But there is still more that needs to be done. I truly am sympathetic for the loss of such a valued member.
Really. That's why you just thrown her away. You're telling me you're someone that can cast a fucking sunbeam at Kellic, but you don't have the time to just quickly get her out of the pens when she's leaving? Why have her incarcerated in the first place? You're not answering my questions, you're just saying empty phrases.
Where's Mom? Or Nico?
May I suggest that we take a moment to just calm down? You have time. The Sorrows, whilst not exceptionally hospitable, is safe for now. You are safe. You are welcome.
Alright, let me make it easier for you. Just one simple question that you have to answer before I want to continue this. Are you responsible for Melinda landing inside the slave pens? Very simple. Yes or no, even, if you want to.
That's a good fucking question, actually.
Melinda ended up in those pens due to a mistake on her behalf. This was not our intended goal. Melinda was an important person to the Veiled Alliance. Sometimes plans do not all go to plan. And if I had it any other way, I would have her right here next to me once more.
Insight check him, please.
You may. He hasn't shifted his body language. His fingers remain interlocked. He seems calm to your plight, but you can look at him and, well, you can't really tell one way or another about, whether or not he's trying to deceive you or persuade you. He doesn't seem to be, mocking you in any way. His tone is level and calm.
So, are you saying that Melinda's death, she died, I don't know if you were aware of that, but she died, was ultimately her fault? Is that what you're saying? Because if that's what you're saying, maybe Aurora won't hit you, but I will.
With so many pieces on the board to move, sometimes mistakes are made. And I take responsibility for Melinda's death. There was not many opportunities, with her having the eye of the Templars upon her. The hope was that she could somehow escape. But there was no one inside that I could reach. I had hoped that, Aurora being there might have been an opportunity for her to be saved, but I'm led to believe that you were not kept in the slave pens together for very long. Is that true?
No, they dragged us to the mine.
And they took Melanda out every day for questioning. Well, not just questioning. Questioning and torture. Which they tried to do to me as well.
Honestly, only torture. I don't think she really answered any questions.
Yeah, or maybe they threw questions at her, but she didn't really give them an answer, which is lucky.
Yeah, fucking lucky.
I will make
still-
sure that arrangements will be made for recovering her body.
Oh, it's been well eaten by now.
Perhaps.
Ew.
It's been a bit late for any
Ugar.
of that.
Do you really think they put her in the stew?
Why wouldn't they?
God.
Certainly possible.
What do I have done with all the other bodies? I mean, you guys had to do it yourself. First last night, if you remember.
Yes, but we didn't really do it. Like, we didn't cook it. Or did we?
Just know
It's
that
blurry.
we had some meals in the morning, double meals even, and all the bodies in the pens were removed.
Are you planning to replace Malanda with Nissa, and will she be sharing the same fate? Because from what I understood, she was to be integrated within your alliance when both of them met.
Melanda was meant to be a communication vessel of sorts. You see, the VA has managed to survive this long by the parts not knowing exactly how many parts there are within the organization. And this is how we've managed to survive for 16 years now. It was the
And
only
you
way.
being the great grandmaster then knows all of the pieces and moves them.
Didn't move a single finger to help Milan in any shape or form.
I understand you're upset. It's not my intention to insinuate that her life was any less than that of my own daughters. But you have to understand that this whole city was about to become fodder for the king that is now dead.
I mean, I think for you, her and your daughter's life seem to be pretty on the same plate, since, you know, you also thrown your daughter into the slave pens, where she could have died, like on the first day she almost did. And she, like, refused to eat and whatnot.
And
So,
it was an unfortunate choice, and if there were any other ways around it, I would have done differently, but... And he looks to Aurora and says, it was the only way I could think of to stop Doreen killing you. I had learned from Alabaster that she was planning on making you have an accident in the Warrens. She wasn't entirely happy about the fact that we were in place and the fact that I was where I am, allowing you to remain in her squad. Maybe that is also my failure, but I wanted you alive. And if it meant that you had to endure a short amount of pain, I couldn't think of anything else.
And why the fuck didn't Alabaster tell me until I was thrown in a fucking pen? And marched like some sort of trophy to go fight in a goddamn mine infested with Lord knows what, and Ilmater preserve me, I would burn down that entire fucking place if I could.
We only learned about it the day before. She brought in an external squad that was going to be your assassins after you managed to capture whoever it was you were meant to capture that day. Doreen is smart. She has likely another organization that she is working with. This faction is now raging rampant through the streets above. We assume that she is linked with the Order and seeking to purge all non-orcish or goblinoid from this city, and putting you in protective custody, is lack of a better term, where the Templars couldn't get you, was
Couldn't be. They could fucking walk in whenever the fuck they wanted and put a knife to my throat and no one would have cared. Their plan was bullshit and desperate.
You're right. I was desperate. Your mother wouldn't let you go. They weren't a part of it, Aurora. They don't even know.
Where is Alabaster? Every fucking Templar in the city looked like they were having a headache through a spear to their face. Is he even alive?
He's alive. He says
Good.
he's okay. The fallout of the plan of killing Kalik and the severance of the Templar power would likely have the Templar districts overrun by various factions. I had a friend enchant his helmet so that this disconnect wouldn't impact him so much. However, last time I saw him, maybe it was just the heat of the day. But I hope we can get to him soon.
Do too. Because I have a bone to pick with him too.
I gotta
Speaking
ask.
of,
Right now he's
Oh,
in the Templar district protecting your mother and brother. He has chosen to align himself with a faction that he knew that could potentially put his life at risk. Now that Kalik is dead, we only have a short amount of time, a few days, before he will attempt to try and excavate your mother and brother out by himself, but his chances are far more greater if we intervene.
Because you couldn't do that earlier. Before, you caused a fucking riot and the collapse of society.
I know you look at me as someone that could potentially do anything.
I look at you as a desperate failure grasping at straws right now, Father.
In time. I hope you will forgive me. This was not something that I could share with you.
I think Aurora just spits.
ew. Thought you were a lady, Aurora. I like you.
Kalik,
The death glare he gives Nisa is...
Kalik managed to find something. He wanted to elevate his powers to a godlike level. Can you imagine it's all just to impress Kalis? To show him that he is worthy of his attention? And that whole ziggurat was merely a conduit to absorb the power of the life force of everyone within the city. He was
So-
somehow using an ancient magic that had been lost and we're not exactly sure yet about how he managed to come across it, or how he could wield blood magic. But we intend to find out.
I hope you intend to find his phylactery. Liches return, you know that. If you don't get rid of one.
What gives you the impression that he has a phylactery?
But he was undead. He knew spells. I mean, the power that he wielded looked to me like he would be smart enough for a backup plan as a phylactery.
He smiled when he died.
Or at least a clone spell.
He was doing a backup of his save files.
Good one. Nice.
Sorry.
Our intelligence doesn't say that he had a backup plan, but he looks to Ramilla, and Ramilla looks kind of concerned at Alessandro, and Alessandro turns back and says, "We'll find out if this is actually true. Our intelligence didn't say that he had already turned, and that the actual ritual was his way of ascending. If that had happened before, well, absolutely we must find out."
Well,
So fucking
I suppose.
sad.
I suppose
You don't
we'll
even
find
know
out
everything
if
about
he.
your enemy.
Suppose we'll see if he shows up with an undead army within a week. Well, I'm not quite sure how long the process of resurrection for Lich is, but he will go up
I would rather
eventually.
not know at all.
Anyway, I suppose we're not going to be helping securing the mother of Aurora, as I understand. We are to sit here until the dust settles.
Sit? No.
Well, in that
You
case,
need
we
to
would
sit.
at least need to catch our breath first.
No.
Your
I
leg is
need
not
to
looking great.
fulfill my oaths, Nisa. We still have the fucking children in the mine, and I intend to retrieve them.
I know, but right now, maybe it's not the best time, or maybe they've been retrieved as well. Maybe your father knows about them. Do you,
We're technically free now.
Sir, father, dad?
Okay, I'll put his name on the screen.
And I will look directly at my father, and it's just like, he doesn't.
Oh, sorry. Mr. Father.
Mr. Father figure person?
Just everyone call him Daddy.
Father.
No.
Oh,
Sir,
no.
sir, Dad.
I don't want to have to endure that. Alessandro looks to you, Nissa, and says, "I have word from Alabaster that the innocents that were found within the mine have been managed to be reallocated. They were not put
To
back
where?
in the mines, and they were brought to the city."
Where?
Oh,
I can trust Alabaster to protect Mom and Nico, but where are the fucking kids?
Mhm.
And where's their friend, Lana, the one they took to
Господь Лана.
Kalik?
В зал сходить. Опять урубцем 12?
I have yet to find that information about this Lana, but he turns again to Ramilla, and she does a nod, and she's going to go back inside this sort of structure and disappear.
Of course. Where he finds the giant fucking creature to have a distraction, you have no fucking information of anybody that survived that mess. Tithian's right there and drags him to the fucking wherever. And you can't get a fucking bit of information like that out of him. How many fucking secrets do you have that are half secrets, father?
Alessander's his in between his eyebrows starts to purse as he furrows his brow at you and says, Now I've tolerated your anger for as far as I care to right now, Aurora, and I am still your father. Even though if you may hate me, you will treat me with the respect that I deserve, or I will put you in your place. You're still not too old enough to have over my knee.
What did he say? Oh,
Now,
did it just say that, Aurora? Did it just
How
say that? Oh
about-
gosh.
This isn't over.
I am still willing to answer your questions, but it seems like you need to calm down for a bit. I suggest you head down towards a tavern, not too far into the Sorrows. You have something that calms you down, and when you are ready to have an adult conversation, I'll be waiting. Just don't take too long.
Do they take copper?
He
They
looks at you,
will
sir.
have to.
I'm sure there will
I
be
don't
some
have any.
arrangements.
Amazing, sir. Amazing. I am looking forward to enjoying the cuisine of Undergirth. I'm sure it will be under delight.
He like
Let's
The
holds
same
his
way
hand
that
Aurora
out,
looked-
like huh?
Aurora looks at both Mag and her dad and just mutters, "I hate you both."
just the same way that we are ungrateful that you have saved us, sir. Absolute tragedy. Please leave us be for a while. We'll get to you when we can. So, as you said, adults can speak.
He like just like plays it back in his head what you said, and he doesn't address it because he feels that's exactly what he said, and he's going to head
let's
in.
go.
And you are left at the top of this hill that sort of descends down into the Sorrows, and you find yourself here.
I'm gonna
Oh,
need.
shit. New map.
Oh,
Who
I'm gonna need
just-
at least like 3 to 5 business days to recover from what Alessandro said about taking Aurora over his knee.
Yeah,
She's
wait.
still young.
That-
She's the younger.
What he say?
What did he say?
What did he
What? Play it back. Clip that shit.
Clip it. I need to. I was distracted.
It's just that Aurora kept bad mouthing him
Yeah.
and talking back, and he was like, "I can still take you over my knee if you don't behave," or something like that. And Lisa was like, "Ah,
Still take you to what?
Me next, daddy. Mm.
no!"
Whoa.
No, no.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
it was the
On today's
opposite.
episode
I
of the
think the
writer's
moment-
barely disguised fetish.
The moment
That's a
the
pattern.
opposite.
Alessandro
Mm-hmm.
is kind of out of view, and like
Mhm.
maybe like a few moments after that, he's he moved a little bit forward, be like in between the rest of the party, and Alessandro he kind of turns, Loka kind of turns around. I don't like him.
Me
What?
neither, to be
I mean-
honest.
But
Uh,
he might have the only answers that we can get right now. Kind of needing in some
Please.
answers.
he can be useful. Let's keep it at that. And I'm sure that. And now I can bug him with my great humor.
You definitely can.
Yes. Finally, I have found my rival. Anyway, do you guys want to go eat actual food?
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
One more thing.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
No, just reminding you that you have 3 NPCs at the moment with you. You have Jasper, Listen, and they have.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're invited for food.
Hey, Jasper, you know where we can get something to drink around here?
Oh, well, as you will have it, just like the big man said, right down there, down that old street towards the centre there, you can see a somewhat large establishment. There is, as I pull up my notes,
I love Jasper.
there is a lovely little establishment called the Hollow Tankard. The Hollow Tankard, as you might call it. It is... Look, it's not the best, alright? We're in the bloody Sorrows, but it will do in a pinch. And they do have some alcohol if you wanted to take the edge off. Don't really know the owner too much, but I have tasted his drinks before, and that is alright by, Warren standards. So, if you
Let me
would
ask
like...
you this. Is it better than the tavern that you took me to meet Ramilla?
Well, I mean, everyone has their own tastes. I can't really say what yours are, Mr. Turtle, me lad. You're used to eating sand, probably. But not sure exactly what tastes good for you.
Don't eat sand, but okay.
See,
I was just saying because you told me at the last place you took me that I shouldn't drink the ale because it wasn't good.
Well,
Is
they
this place
kind
at
of...
least better than that?
I certainly hope so. I've had my fair share of it once or twice. But, listen, try and still keep your wits about you. Just because you're, free and in the hands of the flame of the Warrens. And Lissa responds like, the fuck? And Nahab's like rolling his eyes. He's like, yeah, the flame of the Warrens. Can't you tell? With the hair. Anyway, we're going to head on downtown, if you will. And we're going to go speak to the lovely owner of the Hollow Tankard. All with me?
Wait, downtown? I thought we were under town.
Right, downtown,
let's go.
underground.
Mag, if you keep talking to Jasper with these puns, it'll be just a never-ending loop. You will never be able to get out, and you will.
Yes,
Both?
Jasper. Jasper. My name is Magram. Hi.
Lovely
Pleasure.
to meet you.
Lovely. I'm sure we'll have a lot of hot-headed conversations.
Oh, that's
shit.
spicy.
No, oh no.
Make them stop. Nisa, quickly make them stop.
Why? Why is it somehow my fault?
Because
Keep
they're
moving.
your
Keep moving.
friends.
Oh, so Mag is not your friend.
Oh,
She just kind of looks at her.
All right, everybody to the tavern. Let's
Doesn't
go.
say anything, just kind of looks at her.
Nisa opens her eyes a lot, like, huh?
Aurora. Alright.
We're all friends. Let's go get some ale or whatever they serve there. Let's just go, shall we?
1 second here.
Ark's already walking down the hill.
I'm glad to know that you feel like it is an actual hill. Art is difficult when you do it in the space of a week. But okay, so as you start making your way downtown,
Make my way. Oh,
cool.
God.
I'm just gonna minimize these guys so you know that with you, because what I have experienced in the past is that you guys tend to forget, or most party tend to forget the NPCs that are with them.
Yeah.
As you're making your way downtown, a human with a rather large scar on the side of his face, who seems to be leaning up against one of the first buildings that you pass as you venture deeper into the Sorrows. He's picking his teeth with a somewhat rusty dagger. And he tosses it up and catches it and puts it in a sheath as you pass closer, and he maneuvers himself in the way of you guys venturing further into the Sorrows, and he puts his hand up and says, I'm sorry, don't mean to be rude, but all new visitors must be mentioned to Chandel if they're expected to remain. Sorrows is a community where everyone knows everyone, and I don't know these people. I know you, hothead. But I don't know these. My name is Gargle. And I am, for lack of a better term, sheriff of these parts. On behalf of Chandel, of course. Oops.
No, okay. So what it is that you exactly need of us? Just our names and that's it?
I don't think we're gonna stay here for long.
No?
Doesn't matter if you stay here a minute or the rest of your life. But you seem like well-capable folk. People that can carry weapons. And people here in the Sorrows, well, they lack the ability to protect themselves on a number of occasions. Just so happens we have some situations around town that might require some people of a adept persuasion. Chandel is, for lack
Alessandro
of...
is my father, if that matters. That's all you need to know.
That may be the case for you, but just because
Then
you
I'm
are...
going to go get food.
He
I think Aurora that's going to keep walking down the road.
he unsheathes his blade and says, Now, no need to be hasty. I'm not trying to incite any sort of excitement. I'm just merely trying to catch people's names for Chandel. So, if you'd be so
Aurora
kind.
of the House of Turin. Now go fuck yourself.
Well, she is an absolute delight, isn't she? And
Don't
you?
take that into
It
Who?
gestures to
Me?
the next one. Yeah.
Nisa?
Keep-
From the Warren?
Jasper's like, Jasper's like, the Warrants! Warrants! Puts his fingers
Give
into
it
a
up for the
W.
Warrants.
What
Oh
Warrants?
god, no. she gives him a slap in the hands, kind of makes him go. "Tap, tap."
Gargle is like, he eyes each of you up and says, I'm sure you're all desperately exhausted, but if there comes a point where you might be needed, Chandel runs these parts, and he gestures to an upper layer of the Sorrows, and you can see a somewhat less shitty house all the way up here. And he gestures up there and says, if you're ever called for, if you see anything, Chandel, be sure to want exactly the details of what you've seen. There's only one of me in a very big town of scared folk who just want to live out their lives free. If you intend to incite violence, well, we do have the manpower, but we'd rather not.
My name is Fernandez. Angel Fernandez. That's me. Lovely staying here. I'll be around.
Jasper goes, you know me, Gangrel. Jasper, but now the people calling me Flame of the Warriors. And Gangren's like, I don't give a fuck what they call you, but down here, you're still asshat, okay? It's like, what? Just that one time, okay? Why should... Never forgets anything.
Put someone's ass on his hat. Gene.
I can't believe it. I'm trying to be like diplomatic here, but sorry, your name was Gargoyle? Randall?
Gargoyle.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you're making it up. Okay. He like eyes you up, and you can see that he's got some sort of skill, at least with holding his blade and his posture. So he's not untrained, and he does have a certain set of muscles that seem to show that he has some form of class. Nevertheless, Gargoyle takes. Does anyone not give their name?
I'll give a different name.
You gave
Go
a
ahead.
fake name, Magrum.
I'll
I
say
just
my
wanna-
name is Bar.
Fernandez.
Angel Fernandez. He just
And-
said.
Angel Fernandez. Yes, that's me.
I got that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Angel, which means angel, yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Clever.
Lokar.
I'll say my name is Thar.
Thar.
Thar. Thar.
Mr. Turtle.
I'm Karik. You have to forgive my friends. We've had a bit of a day, and we really need a drink. I promise we're not here to try to start anything.
See that you don't. But the hollow tankard is yours. So try not to cause trouble. And Listen kind
we
of like
won't.
gives him a wink. And Jasper gives him wait, did Magrum give him finger guns already?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Otherwise, you would have given finger. He like sort of stomps past Gargle, and Nahav will be. He would give a very long name in Elvish. But then Gargle goes, I'll just say Nahav then. And you will sort of make your way downtown.
Mm-hmm.
To
Come on.
the hollow tankard. Oh,
Another turtle.
Wait,
I
what?
think. Is that a ninja turtle?
why does everyone think turtles are Ninja Turtles?
I don't
That's-
know.
My
Is
God,
that-
there's a turtle.
Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles. Teenage Mutant Turtles. Come on.
it looks like like it has some sort of like, I don't know.
It does.
bandana
From if you're not zoomed in all the way, it does look like he's got a bandana around his eyes.
Oh yeah. All right, now it's better. Now it's better. Yeah.
Nice.
Nah.
Okay, let me
Cool.
give you some description here, guys. The Hollow Tankard is a dimly lit tavern, to say the least, with holes in the ceiling that are there by choice to help the innards of the Hollow Tankard to be illuminated by the crystals above. The stone walls are cracked and damp with mildew, and the floor uneven with grime and spilled ale. A handful of splintered tables and mismatched chairs fill the room, where flickering lanterns barely chase away the shadows. The air is thick with a scent of cheap alcohol and sour breath. And the clientele, for the lack that you see, are as rough as they come. Drunks with nothing left to lose. Thieves with a intended mark. But despite its grim appearance, the Hollow Tankard, for the people in the sorrows, seems to hold a lifeline. The barkeep is gruff, a grizzled one-eye turtle with a wide shoulder build and an expression of no nonsense. His arms are thick with scars and tattoos, and he sports a jagged tattoo of a serpent around his neck. He watches you all come in and particularly Aurora, just straight up to the bar. And he's got this grimy rag over his shoulder, and instantly puts a cup in front of you and pours some frothing brown liquid in front of you and says, "Look like you're having a bit of a day. Want to talk about it?"
This looks disgusting. And she just chugs it. It is disgusting.
It is a thin, bitter ale. And it tastes foul, with very little actual sweetness to it. But you feel a tingling, warm sensation of a somewhat strong alcohol. And it only takes a couple more sips before the flavor passes by to that warm, numbing feeling. Well, I make it myself, and thank you kindly for keeping a civil tongue here in the hallowed tankard. I know everyone's having a bit of a rough year, but we're all here to help each other, aren't we? If you need a bit more, well, all you gotta do is shout for me. They call me the Maw. Real name's Mavros Kell, but you can just shout more, you'll get more.
Bring me your best dish. I don't care about price.
Oh, sounds like you're having a real tough year. And more sort of waddles into the corner of the bar where there is a pot and a ladle sticking out of it, and takes a cracked clay bowl and scoops a ladle full of a questionable stew, but it is somewhat steaming and there's various chunks in it. And he comes back and puts it on the countertop for you and says, "First one's free. They always come back for more, you see."
What'd you put in it?
Whatever we can find. There are many creatures around here in the Undercity, which, you find whatever you can find. But all is, reasonably sourced. No people, if that's what you're talking about.
Any
Take
cloakers?
rats over people. And now I guess I'll just start eating this questionable meat.
Any cloakers that you were able to get?
Cloakers? Did you say
Yep.
cloakers? Cloakers?
Yep.
He looks at you and goes, "Sorry, mate, I don't really know what you're talking about with cloakers, but here, first one's free." And he slides you a mug of the brown ale.
Oh, thanks. But still, I would also like a dish of that. Gestures
Oh.
to the stew.
Of the stew? Oh, absolutely. I'm sure you'll like it. He goes and brings you a bowl.
Sweet.
I've just been staring at the mall while he's having this conversation.
Mm.
Does anything about him familiar to me? Like, do I maybe know him or know anything, like these symbols he's got on him that are familiar?
So, he is not a Starcaller turtle.
Yeah.
His shell is as ordinary as it comes.
Gotcha.
Your shell is, the geometric shapes, and it has that sort of opalescent to it, and his is kind of like heavily scarred and scuffed up and not at all glossy. It's seen a lot, and there's down one heavy side there is this large cleave through his shell. But it's kind of kept together with this like series of iron staples.
That's cool.
Damn.
I think I will look to listen and Nahaf. And I will ask. I know you guys came with us with all the chaos, but I assume you don't really know what's going on.
Nev like looks to you and kind of gives a very no duh kind of expression, like, we just arrived too. I'm trying to piece it all together, but I'm too tired to figure it all out right this second.
You don't know about the Veiled Alliance, then, I assume. Have I ever heard of that?
First time I heard it was today. Listen, speaks to you, Lokar says, you know, Tekantro said these things in his sleep one time. And I thought he was just talking about some sort of alcohol. But I have heard the phrase before, but I didn't expect it to be a faction or some sort of underground resistance that could be so coordinated that they could take down the king.
What's your thought on that?
Yeah. I'm interested as well.
I mean, I knew Tekantro was strong, right? You know, big physique. They had no idea that his spear could glow like that. No idea that there was like all this chaos, but I mean, it was pretty fucking sweet, right? You know, seeing all of this happen all at once, and well, yesterday we were slaves. Today, well, we're here. We're in this forsaken hellhole, but we're alive, and not under the eye of any of those fucking Templars.
So he kept it a secret from you, from everybody. The fact that he was with the Alliance, I mean.
I mean, it's not like he talks much, so I guess. It's hard to slip when you don't talk.
The thing with Tekandral is that he is very good with his, and she gestures, body. His social skills, we kind of kept to the side. I wasn't with him for his conversation skills.
So you didn't talk much? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, well, we
he
made
doesn't talk
noises,
much.
but...
Yeah, don't tell me that.
While they're having
don't
this
you...
conversation with the-
Yeah. It's like that conversation goes back and forth with Listen, like making all sorts of suggestive comments. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, while they're having that conversation, I'm gonna get a round of drinks from them all and go to the table and give to everybody.
Yeah, sure. Skipping over that.
Look, we'll
first
use
one's free.
Drink. I think I don't need a drink. Rick.
As soon as the drinks come along, Nisa just finds a way to escape the conversation with Lisa and goes, "Oh, drinks! Oh, perfect! Just in time."
The things he could
Give
do
me
with
that.
his legs. Okay.
Shut up!
Put it in your pants, jeez. Anyway, suppose that your boyfriend has found himself a new ruler, the new king. Anyway, oh, drinks.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, cool. So, you each have a round, and if you wish, you have a round of dregs, they're called, and the Miga stew is warming. Whether the nutrition value is there is not really it's difficult to see, but the fact that it's free, hot, and not consisting of people is the first food you guys have had for a long time. that perhaps fills your bellies or not. Therein.
Yeah, Lokar will take the food, but he won't take the drink.
Okay. Aurora,
So,
you, just to tie you off, are you just gonna be getting drunk?
No. I think after once I get the food and everybody's done, I will kind of wait for them to be done. Kind of stare vacantly at the party for a bit.
How many drinks would you say you consume?
I don't really think Aurora is that much of a drinker, so probably 1 or 2.
The warming sensation goes through your body, but you stop chugging dregs before inebriation starts to kick in. But you are perhaps feeling some form of calming effects. But you can certainly return to the table. Around you there is very few patrons at this point in the day. You have a human that's kind of collapsed over the bar on the left-hand side of the bar, clinging onto a bottle of murky liquid, and kind of drooling as he rests his cheek on his arms, and you hear him sort of mumbling certain words. Then you have a group to the west of you, which consists of slightly older human male, slightly younger human male, and a tiefling with blue skin and raggedy clothing. Karik, make a history check. No, intelligence check.
Ooh.
Something tickles your memory about the tiefling, but it's fleeting, and you squint at him before ignoring that feeling.
okay.
Oh my god, now I'm intrigued.
So,
All right.
So
No.
Malanda didn't make it.
No,
Yes.
she didn't make it.
Unfortunately, no.
There were wounds that I couldn't fix. There
None
was
of
no
us
one nearby
really.
that could do it.
Also, with the anti magic field, there was nothing we could do.
I know
It
someone
still
who could have
sucks.
done something, but he wasn't there, unfortunately.
Who?
It's all. A squad member of mine. Yeah. He refuses to allow death to take anyone. It's quite impressive what he has done to everyone. Give them up.
He's not a necromancer, is he?
No, not
Okay.
at all.
That's good.
I mean, I assume he knows some things about necromancy, but he never uses it. Again, comes with the territory, probably.
And he's in Gerst?
He's dead. Probably.
Oh,
Yeah. Like most people I know. Yeah, I called him the Death Taker. Not because he kills anyone, but he always takes death away. I think he could have done something.
wish you could have met him as well.
It's very interesting.
When my sister was sick and everything, I wish I could have done with his help.
Everyone can do with his help.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
So,
Wander off. My thoughts.
we're free now. So, let's cheers to that, I suppose.
Death
Cheers to
Taker
that.
is one hell of an oath, Loka. You honor him by remembering him.
We usually do that. Stop talking.
Yeah.
So Carrot.
Yeah.
How did you? I mean, I know you told us about how you found Jasper and the Warrens and all that, but how did you exactly get past the Templars and the security in the games and everything? Like, how did you
Oh, well,
hide?
the hiding in the city actually was pretty easy, I guess, because they thought I was dead. They weren't really looking for me.
Mm-hmm.
But to get into the games, Ramilla gave me a little gem that I used to turn into the orc guy that you saw.
A gem, like a stone.
Yeah, it was like a little shiny rock that I had to smash on my forehead, and it made me look like someone else.
So it's one use only.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're gone now. She gave me 2 of them. I got one to go across the city to meet with her, and then one to get into the games with.
Well, that's impressive.
Resourceful.
They were
For
very
now.
useful.
Mhm.
I wish I had more of them. They could come in handy.
Maybe they sell them somewhere around here. I mean, there should be shops.
Maybe.
We've been talking about what we want to do now.
Hmm. Good question.
Well, as much
mean-
as I'm sure you guys probably don't want to right now, I think Aurora's dad might be. I think we should try to hear him out. And I don't know.
Certainly, but we should go in with an idea of what we want to do.
Right.
Hmm.
I know.
Sure. This is gonna be dangerous for a while. So either we get out of it or we stay here. I mean, in Undergirst.
Well, from what I have learned about you guys, is even though I wouldn't advise for it, you guys probably want to do something about the chaos up there.
I'm not too sure I want to step back out right now, or I mean, at least not for the next few days. I'd normally just wait it out, see what happens. Because now that Tithin's king, and she does the inverted commas with her fingers. I don't know. I just want to see what he does and how he manages the city. I guess.
Oh, I thought you would be Mirage, I have to say. I'm fine
What do
with
you
waiting. The thing is, even though I don't want to, I have to talk with your father anyway. I need information. And since Melanda is dead because of him, I'll have to get it from him.
Can we all agree? And she looks at Aurora. That when we talk to Aurora's father, we will not, or we'll try not to be hostile. Is it too much to say? I know that Melander is dead.
I got my
because
answers
of him.
from him.
But
I
yeah,
feel
we
a
can
certain
still.
way about him. I don't need to be. I don't think I was that hostile to begin with. After he finally
Oh.
started answering my questions.
I'm not saying it because of you, Lokar.
I'm not sure she's hearing you.
I'm talking about you, Aurora. As much as I like feisty women. I'm all for that. Always. But I don't think it's a good idea right now to just antagonize your father. If what we want is answers.
I think
I know that-
Aurora kind of just stands up at that point, turns to Nahav, and my oath to you is complete. Do what you will. Grabs the whip off her belt and walks outside, and about 10-15 seconds later you just hear the crack and some screams of agony.
What the hell is she doing?
I think that's called flagellation.
I'm sorry, what? Is she beating herself up?
It's a form of worship among her clergy.
Who the
I'm
fuck
gonna
worships a god
Get
like
over here
that,
so I can
guys?
see her. Is she whipping herself?
Oh, absolutely.
Hold person.
Okay. Wisdom safe.
Cast that shit. Cast it.
You are
Yeah,
thusly
it's
held.
That's a fail. I'm gonna yell for the rest of the party, or at least Nissa.
Sorry, I tripped.
So, you all rush out. Okay.
Aurora.
So like whole person is like every 6 seconds. Basically, Aurora can make another save. So be quick.
Yeah. She was whipping herself. I've got her held temporarily. I don't know who wants to try to talk her down.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about this, but Nissa's going to slap her in the face, really hard. Like
I don't think there's a change of expression.
I don't think she can change her
I don't think
expression.
she can. She's
No, I don't think there is.
Make another save, Aurora.
oh my god.
You are released.
You're free.
Stop this, Aurora. Stop it. Will you just fucking listen to me?
She turns, looks directly at Nissa, doesn't do anything.
I'm sorry I hate you. But no, actually I'm not sorry. I needed to hate you. What the how
Your
are you
wounds
doing?
on Aurora.
Is this what your lord commands? Is
No.
it, Aurora?
You are not of my faith.
And I don't want to be.
That is fine.
But look, I don't care about all the people that subscribe to your faith or whatever. They can do as they please, but you can't. I'm sorry. You just can't. Don't make me say it, Aurora.
Where there is a whip, there is
There is a way.
That's bullshit.
You look are coming in a little bit later, and you guys moving up, and I think he's going to say, I think what Nissa means is you have your oath to saving the city, not to Ilmata, if I remember correctly. That's what you told me, right?
I do.
To get rid of the corrupt people and rebuild first. That's what your oath is, Aurora. Alright?
Correct. So let's use that whip on someone that deserves it.
Look, Aurora, Ilmater is not gonna love you more just because you whip yourself.
It's not about love, Nisa. It's about discipline.
You don't need discipline, you need to rest. You need to eat, and you need to sleep, and you need to heal properly. And that's all I would say.
My father is patient. We can talk to him in the morning.
Sounds good to me. I'd like letting him wait a bit.
I think that's a good idea. Give everybody involved a chance to cool off a little bit.
Now, if you will excuse me.
It's her faith, guys. It's the way that they pull off theme, if you will. I am sure she's done this before.
Cruel is the day when Mag understands me the most.
Still don't think this is the thing you should care about.
Magrim, roll a religion check for me.
Religion.
Your studies would have provided you enough information, at least in generalization, through most of the deities available. Especially given your origins, these things are were shown to you by your diva. At least from the way that he educated you by highlighting things for you. What you were reminded of as you witness Aurora beating herself as a ways of communication or showing piety. What comes across to you in your studies is that Ilmater, whilst he was the broken god and a god of compassion, he encouraged his faithful to halt and relieve the suffering of others, and to take it on themselves if they must, but not on purpose. Whilst the god was willing to suffer, anyone's place to take their burden or seeking any pain to lessen that of another is what mattered more to the religion rather than just self-flagellation.
Wait. Okay.
So you look on Aurora,
Huh?
and you notice that what she is doing
She
is not
is
necess-
heretical.
in a sense, or misguided in a sense.
Right. Makes sense. Okay.
What you do with that information is yours.
There's a way to phrase this that would be way better done by Mag than by me. Yeah. But he would turn to Aurora and recite the tenets of Ilmater. That the suffering of others should be lessened by those better. That those who endure receive. For let me be absolved before your weeping majesty, that I may clearly bear the burden of others in your name. Your knees may stagger, your bones may break, your will may fracture, but the faith stands strong on the shoulders, Lord, if you take it. And you punishing yourself doesn't bode well with Ilmater's teachings, Aurora. You are your own woman, to do as you wish. Of course. Just know that to ease the burden of others, you still need your own strength. We can ease your burdens, if you let us.
I think the deafening silence as Aurora just stares at Mag and doesn't really do anything. It's probably the best answer here. She does not go back to whipping herself, at least.
You two can roll me a religion check, Aurora.
I'm trying to collect my dog. Hold on.
I mean, I can roll for you if you like.
No, I walked back over here.
As you hear the classic prayer, spoken, not necessarily verbatim, but close enough. Two things happen. One, you realize that Magrim probably knows a lot about religion. Why Ilmater's religion? You have no idea. The second thing is a curiosity that maybe you connect a dot of sorts. That as you were studying the tenets of the faith, comedy and jokes were enjoyed by that of Ilmater. And looking at Magrim, you can't help but cock your head perhaps to the side and look at him in a strange light.
Nothing is spoken, but the thoughts that go through Aurora's head are God works in mysterious ways.
Alright, since we have finished this, have you guys looked for a room here already? I saw you at the bar.
No.
I'm
But
gonna
him
peek
or
my
Jasper
head.
would know.
I'm gonna take my head back in and be like, "Hey Jasper, where can we sleep?"
Well, don't know about you, me laddie, but not here. This is just a tavern. Whilst I may have passed out in the alleyway to the side a couple of times, wouldn't really recommend it for you back, even though he looks you up and down. Alright, yeah, you're a turtle. You could just load up right down right there.
Yeah, but for the rest of our friends,
Right.
is there somewhere we can sleep?
Well, I'm sure there is if we ask our fellow Moore here.
I'll go back in and stop yelling across the bar.
Exactly. As you go back in, Moore tells you that the Hollow Tavern is that of like a tavern of sorts. There are some cots available in a sort of makeshift room upstairs that could potentially house like a few of you, but it would be like poor accommodation.
Is there an inn nearby, or something of the likes, where we could just get a room?
Moore says, there are many abandoned shacks. You could just simply walk into one and at least that will give you cover, but it's not like you have an open sky above your head here in the Sorrows. Find a place, make it your own, then leave. That's what generally
Fair
people
enough.
do here. And if you don't have a place and you can't find one, grab a couple of pallets, make one yourself. That's how the Sorrows came to be. People just came by, chose to stay a while.
No, that's pretty much how I was raised. We just stayed wherever we were for the day, so works for me. Thank you very much, Mr. The Mall.
I didn't catch your name, fellow Tortle. I can clearly see you're not of the same kind as I, but not often, if you pardon me, not often that we have many of our kind down here.
The name's Kark. Sancho.
Garik, pleasure.
Yes, sir.
And
Pleasure's mine.
he like takes the rag off of his shoulder and starts wiping the surface of the bar. And what brings you all the way down into the darkest depths of Undergust to meet with my sorry ass?
It's a real long story. I'd love to tell it to you sometime. Not tonight, though.
Naturally, of course. Well, I'm not going anywhere. Neither are these fellows. He gestures towards this drunken guy here who's still like kind of dozing on the bar.
Thank you for the drinks and for the information. And I'll drop a silver on the bar to him.
He leaves it on the counter and gives a nod as he continues to wipe. Says, "Yeah, all sorts of people come through the Hollow Tankard. If you're ever in the neighborhood for hearing any sort of rumors, well, you hear all sorts of things, like I say."
Good to know. I will keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll drop another silver.
He nods and leaves the silver on the counter.
Alright. I'll... Oh, I see Nissa and Mag came in also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the way that we got here, honestly, it sounds like a setup for a great joke. A turtle, a tiefling, a Goliath, and a half celestial walk into a bar, followed by a human. Crazy stuff. Maybe we'll tell you that sometime.
The Moor just like hears you and like blinks a couple of times and gives a half laugh, like, "Oh, that sounds like the makings of quite a story there. When you think of the punchline, I'll be here with the punch."
Oh. No, you're staring at the punchline right now. It's not pretty.
He like
Anyway,
blinks a
thank you for the
couple of
food.
times.
It's been great.
Gives a nod and continues to wipe the bar.
DM. Do I maybe, I don't know, do I know who this tiefling may be? Have I seen him before?
There is a chance.
Obviously,
Roll
you
a
know all
history.
You're just
check.
assuming all tieflings know each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's racist.
I did the same
Blue is
thing
near
with the
purple,
dwarf.
you know, like basically the same color, you know.
I'm not racist. One of my friends is a tiefling.
Just yeah. You. There are a lot of people in Gerst. You're pretty sure you've never really met him before. You may have like seen him, but then there are other blue tieflings as well, like in the mirror. But you're not sure one way or another. You feel like there could be something that you've seen him before, somewhere in Gerst, but you're not sure.
Okay, I'll just stare at him for a second too long and then turn away and go, I'll figure it out eventually.
Hey, Jazz? Hey, Jazz.
Oh, right, yeah, hello, what's up?
I have a burning question for you.
Oh, well, I'm
Oh, no.
alive with excitement.
Can you
No,
cast
oh, no.
spells?
Can I cast spells? Well, see, I'm not one so inclined to be that of the weave, other than what's ornate. See, the gods so
Right.
kind of bless me with this wonderful wavy hair. It goes brighter.
I see. Lovely, lovely. However, is it me? Because to me, it seems like you cast the spell Friday.
The spell what?
Friday.
Friday? What's a Friday?
See, that one got lost in the translation, let me tell you.
World lore. There's no such thing as Fridays.
In Celestial, we call it Friday.
Yes. Anyway, are you coming with us?
Celestial is Spanish.
Yes. Are you coming with us? Do you have already a place to live here?
Well, thought I might have a couple more of the drinks before I head back up. It feels like you got a little bit of unfinished business. What with,
Fair. Well, you can find us by one of the houses will be glowing. Me.
Right.
I'm glowing.
All right, I'm always glowing too, and you've got a radiant sense of humor.
Oh, yo. Oh, get along just fine.
We
Anyway.
need to keep these two away from each other.
Young. Young.
Anyway, is the elf?
Run.
It's dangerous.
Are these two coming with us? Or are they going to be staying here?
I mean, you've only just sort of arrived. It's only been a couple of minutes, so they're still drinking their first drink and eating their stew, of which you guys haven't touched either. So let's hear what's going on with Aurora and Lokar.
Yes.
I think Loka has just just kind of wanted to be outside, and maybe he wanted to keep an eye on Aurora, but I don't think he says anything necessarily unless Aurora says anything. He's not like watching or staring at you, but just kind of looking into the distance, maybe up to where her father is.
I think Aurora has just put all her things away and is just standing at attention. Perfectly happy to just be in silence.
Yeah, I think we just share some nice silence that we both kind of need
All right.
while the others are talking inside.
Are you guys coming back in? Because I don't know about you all, but I'm pretty hungry. I could finish that stew.
Might take it to go. I kind of want to get somewhere and sit down and just rest.
I get that. Okay, I'll ask. Although I'm not sure if they will allow us to
You're right.
just grab it.
Yeah, I can. Yes, I can come in. Gives like
That's
a
fine.
look over to Aurora. I can come in, and he follows you to like finish the food.
Nisa just before ducking back inside the tavern, Nisa just gives Aurora a look, like she points at her own eyes and then at Aurora's eyes, like, I'm watching you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then goes back in.
Okay.
It's not a bad I'm watching you. It's a friendly I'm watching you.
Got it.
Yes.
What was that, Magro?
Oops.
Spell casting. I like to use Mage Hand to float the bowl of stew towards Aurora.
Okay, so 10-foot distance, right?
60.
30.
Oh, see, oh, you have the thing. Yeah, you have the.
I do.
You got the long hand.
Yeah.
So there are gaps within the structure walls of the Hollow Tavern. Hollow Tankard.
Anchor.
Tankard.
I keep the Hollow Tankard. I have it in front of me, but I just
Hollow
like
Tankard Tavern.
Hollow Tankard Tavern. I made it hard for myself. The Hollow, even not even the Hollow. God.
Close enough.
Yeah, so Aurora, you're standing to attention there, looking out to the area known as the Sorrows, when a steaming bowl of stew floats next to you.
She takes it and just stands there and eats, and then puts the bowl in the thing. Probably like by the wall when she's done.
Yeah, I mean, you add to the garbage. It's not exactly gonna lessen the aesthetics.
I mean, I'm not throwing it into pieces, but it's just right there.
Sure. So for Aurora's purposes, she's just thinking at this point, and she doesn't want to interact with the party right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And the rest of you that are currently in the tavern?
I think
This
there's
is
one
some
more-
serious gourmet shit. This is way better than slave food, guys.
Everything is better than slave food, I think.
Oh man.
Even sand.
Question for Theron.
Okay.
The little tinge I had earlier of possibly recognizing the tiefling, was it enough to make me want to listen in, or is it like, did it just completely fade afterwards?
Are you
Because
gonna
I want to know, but I'm trying to figure out if Karik really wants to know who that is or not. Because it wasn't a great roll, so
The tinge is like a chance encounter that you may have met before, but it doesn't really, like, it doesn't connect.
okay. I'm not super curious about it then.
No, it's not like it nags at you. It's more like, wait, did I see you before? Maybe, but you saw so many people.
Yeah.
After coming back from entering from the desert, right?
Mm-hmm.
You probably saw him in the starting tavern.
Possibly.
There's one more thing on Lokar. Like he's I think a quick eater. I think that's something you learn in
Sure.
military. It's just
fair.
important to quickly
Primal
eat your
jaws.
meals. To be on schedule and everything. So
He's German. He's very efficient.
He rages while he eats the potato.
So when he is finished, and maybe you guys are still eating, he's going. One more thing I want to say. I I don't believe that Melanda made a mistake. Get caught. It's just unlikely to me. I mean, maybe she got rusty, but from what it looks like, she has just kept what she was good at since after the wars. And I don't think she's ever come close to being captured. Maybe I couldn't quite read Alessandro, but maybe he is not responsible for what got her into the slave pens necessarily, but I don't think someone certainly is. I doubt that something happened that was just unlucky. I don't believe that.
I think the fact that we know just how corrupt the Templars had become is enough for us to say that we can't for sure put the blame on Aurora's dad. I don't think
I just don't know
if he's really truly working with the VA. I don't see why he would have done that intentionally to Melanda. I don't know the man, but that's
who
just
else could have had the information about her, you know? He's
Hmm.
not the type of woman that goes around and tells her all her secrets.
Let's be honest though. The guards that we have encountered so far in our time as slaves, they didn't really know why they were doing what they were doing. They were kind of just blindly following orders, and they might have just been told to torture her, and there might not have been any real motive behind it other than they're just assholes.
I don't know, Miss, I saw that one Templar that didn't want to show his face. I'm just saying
Did.
that if it's not Aurora's dad, only someone in the VA knew about Melanda. In a
Well,
way that I feel like would make her make a mistake. I think she would be able to plan if she's getting chased or known by the Templars. So I feel like there has to be someone that tipped them off somehow.
An insider Templar working for the VA who has a bone to pick with Melanda?
I don't fucking know. Can't say There's many reasons. I could even see Aurora's father having a reason to move his chess pieces, so when she needs
I mean-
3 cards, but you know, I don't know.
Real
Maybe
quick, while we're having this conversation, does it look like anybody in here is trying to listen to what we're talking about?
Does it
Good
look like
question.
anyone? Roll perception.
Nope. I don't see shit. I had too many
Listen,
drag.
Yeah, them dregs give you the warm fuzzies, and your peripherals are clouded, and maybe you're tired as well. Like you've gone through a bit of an ordeal, and your eyes get a little droopy.
I'm tired, guys. It was a long
Yeah, I
day.
can tell, man. Been a great fight. Well, everybody did well. What a battle.
We need to. There's still a fucking eldritch being that's around Gerst.
Well, at least it's at the bottom of some kind of pit.
Well, it rolled out there before.
Hmm.
Maybe the fall killed it.
Well, it'll need some time to regenerate. So there's that.
Yes.
By the way, how did you take those tentacle attacks?
What do you mean?
Well, they seem like they tore through bones and flesh. How were you able to keep yourself together?
I mean, mostly was trying to get out of the way, I guess. But I'm not sure I kept myself together that much. Just got lucky.
Do
You
those
lucky.
tentacles? I don't know. I think they looked similar to the ones that we found in the mine with the butcher guy.
Yes, when I
Right?
removed the Unkeg's head, there were some tentacles that came out of its body.
Yeah.
I am unsure if that's just like if there's more of these things and that's just one of the bodies that it got out of, or it's just the one. It
But there
certainly
was-
is
Mhm.
something fucking horrible.
Hmm.
For sure. But I remember that there were like vines as well. Some sort of vines that wrapped around some of us.
I think they were
including
just
myself.
enchanted or something.
Or
Do you?
corrupted.
Or-
Mm.
Yeah, I think they were corrupted, or maybe there was something underneath there. In deeper levels of the mine. I don't know. I could
Not
be
sure.
wrong.
I don't
mean,
think we can
Maybe
solve.
For whatever reason, I saw those symbols above your head when I entered that chamber.
Yeah, that's
And-
weird.
Correct. Listen, I know all stuff about demons, angels, and what have you. And whatever that wasn't quite demonic to me. I was wrong on many levels, but not that, I think. And so, I believe there was a rift, you know? And because of that, I was able to see your guys' coordinates, I suppose, your locations, tasks.
So
Because
you're saying
when
that
worlds
Uh-huh.
collide, they create things like gateways, doorways, if you will. I believe that this butcher was doing just that. And the creature that we fought in the arena looked similar to what was affecting you guys. You know, the tentacles. So, these gateways could be all around Gerst. Well, not the city, but I imagine like its surrounding area. You have to pull that kind of creature from somewhere. Not from here, not from where we live. Where
not
those.
from this plane, you mean?
Yes, this isn't their home. They are aliens to this place. That are plane.
That's just great. That's just a great prospect.
I could be wrong.
Nev chimes in with a spoon in one hand and his face close to the bowl in the other as he's chowing down on this very thin stew.
Chef.
And says, I've never seen anything like what we just fought. I didn't even know such a creature could exist. The face was not a face, it was almost like a collective of tentacles that kind of constituted its face. And then when we damaged it so much that it released its shell, it was almost as if these tentacles were wearing the shell. You see the barbs that flew out of it. They were thorned. I've never seen anything like that, and I can rest assured that I will never see anything of that nature again, lest I die. That
You
was
die.
not a normal creature. And if you are saying that you have encountered such a creature before, I demand to know where, because my people would want to know where. Because that thing will haunt my dreams.
Why do your people want to know? To avoid it?
If there is some curse, if there is some, like your friend here says, a joining of worlds, a portal, gateways. There was a time when my people were affiliated with such things. No longer anymore. Not for hundreds of years, perhaps thousands. But it is in our history books. There was a time when my kind could easily pass through to an echo of this world, and that has been lost to us for generations. Such creatures could exist perhaps in those echoes, but if that is true, then something is happening. And your friend outside saved my life, knowing full well that I was willing to just get back home. I'd given up hope ever escaping with my life, let alone information about what could be happening around here that could be world changing. If creatures like that exist, and creatures are roaming the lands once more of that power, well, the gods help us all, because I certainly fucking can't.
I don't think. I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything, but I don't think they're roaming the world just yet.
Just yet.
It's just yet. As I said, I have no clue. But the way Magrim was talking about it, it seems like somebody, or yeah, the fact that that creature was there, the fact that that portal was opened was not a coincidence. It was done on purpose, right?
Yeah, for sure. Such
So-
gateways are melded by... It's a long process to cast such a incantation, and the King of Gerst had a lot of time. So my best theory is that he made that crossover so that he could conjure up this being for this great battle, you know? And
Exactly.
so that he would gather favor from the other king from far off in Upsilon. However, as a consequence, that made the barriers thinner around this area, and I think that's how the Butcher was able to call forth, those things that attacked you.
According
The
to
barrier was
your
there.
your friend's father, who was yelled at before he could give us any true information. Well, he was under the impression that Kalik was looking to sacrifice us all from within the walls. And yet you're saying that Kalik could be involved in something outside the walls as well?
What happened in the mine was no accident. It was purposeful by someone.
Well,
Maybe sometimes things are simpler. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe whatever made this place have a thinner... Whatever you guys are talking about, I don't really follow that much. Might have come from something else. And it's just a byproduct.
Such
So
thoughts
far,
are
everyone
no-
that...
they're delusions.
I just feel like everyone that is powerful enough to do this that we know of doesn't really have a reason to do this. I don't think Kalik really needed this creature to have a great show. I mean, he thought of Beastmaster Morgan to have his crazy creature that we killed, so there's that. And also, I mean, he mostly just was interested in keeping everyone focused, I think, so he could just siphon the life force. don't think it really mattered what we fought, as long as it would have been a strong fight or something, like a difficult fight.
Yeah, distracting us enough.
Listens
I would
speaks up and
encourage
says,
you to get.
Yeah, the crowd went crazy when that creature came out, right? That's brilliant. They're just screaming at us. Never seen such hostile intent.
And then many of them dropped dead. I don't know if you guys saw. But I definitely saw some people just go down.
I think you should probably have a conversation with your father, human. It seems like he has more information, perhaps. But I understand if you don't want to. My father's a total asshole too.
No, we should. And you should get as much information as you can from him as well. I intend you to still go back to your homeland. Maybe it will be beneficial. Maybe you'll die along the way.
I would like to go back with as much information as possible. Maybe there other people can figure out what is happening, but I need to know everything. What happened in those mines? Where did that creature come from? Who, what, and what you fought? Details, as many details as you can cobble together. But also from your father. Are you ready?
Let's find some paper.
We finished our meals.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Find some paper when we're up there. It's a lot to write down.
We're planning on going now.
We can go now.
Sure,
Okay,
you
sure.
don't want to rest? and
Did we
go
get a
on?
short rest?
You certainly had enough time to short rest, yes.
Oh, okay.
I know. Short rest.
No.
Nice.
That's nice.
As you're like sitting there next to Jasper, Nissa, it's almost as if the time spent apart from each other has somehow diminished to that of seconds, and Jasper sort of sits next to you and jostles you in a playful tone as he's eating the stew, and you're trying to pay attention to the conversation that's going on at the table, and Jasper is fooling about, as is Jasper's personality.
Yeah.
And he like in a lull of conversation, as people are just like eating and drinking, he says, "Who'd have thought? N and J back together, but under cursed. Been a while on this. What you been up to?" "I know what you've been up to. I know you've been stuck in a pen, but before that, what you been up to?"
Well, just, the usual.
Or?
I got word that I was gonna meet somebody from the VA in the tavern in the, what was it? The I don't remember. The tavern in the
Bleached Inix.
Warrens, the good one. Yeah, the bleached Inix. or
Bleached
something like that.
Inix.
Mhm.
Bleached
Yeah.
Inix.
Well, good one. I say good one, but you know what I mean.
Right, yeah,
And
yeah.
and I don't know, I just went there trying to not draw many looks towards myself. And then Melanda came in and started talking to everybody. Well, not everybody, a few people. And suddenly all of these Templars burst in and all hell
No.
breaks loose.
Oh, the Templars
Yeah.
just coming into the Bleached Inks like that? What, not without having a rub down or anything? They were there, just stalking after him.
I think they were following Melanda. Or at least that's what she suspected.
Our orders were clear. We knew her normal locations and where she might flee into the Warrens. Didn't take long to decipher that the Bleached Enix was a good place as any to hide.
Yeah, Aurora was one of the Templars that was fighting us.
You what? That one over there, she was the one that took him. And you're saying that M's passed away. I mean, I'm just like trying to
Yeah.
take it all in. Like, you know, like, well, maybe you don't know, but she and I had a little bit of a thing going on. You were trying to say
Oh,
that?
really?
Well, yeah, okay, a little
Look how people have.
A little thing, all right? Okay, just it gets lonely in the Warrens sometimes, and like maybe I rubbed my charm off on her, or maybe I got a little drunk. But whatever you have,
Sure.
she and I were.
Sure. You did
yeah.
rub your charm on her. Sure.
Hey, I gotta rub something in this.
Ugh. Jasper. Oh, I thought you knew. I thought you knew that. I thought you heard at least when we were talking about it. She kept. I've been meaning to ask you. She kept. While we were in the pens, she kept being dragged away for questioning and torture. And once they took me instead. And when they took me, they dragged me to a tent with a Templar that wears a white cloak with a hood. I couldn't see their face. Have you ever seen them? Do you have any idea who they could be?
Templar wearing a white cloak. That's kind of unusual, if you ask me. Templars mostly with their black, trying to be all domineering and all taking up the space. But why? That's kind of unusual. No, I can't say I've seen Templars wearing white. You might want to ask your Templar friend if something came up across like that. But you sure they were Templar?
Well, they were in a Templar tent. They
Right.
never told me, "Hey, I'm a Templar."
Oh, well, then maybe you're inferring something there, littleness, Gotta connect the dots sometimes, but not connect them if there's no join. Just because they're in a tent doesn't mean that there are, a tent post. If you get me drift.
Yeah. So maybe they're working with the Templars, or the Templars are working for them, because they seem to be, an imposing figure, somebody important.
Well, clearly they were trying to find out some information from him, if they were constantly doing her in, and ultimately leading to a sad end. Oh, gonna miss her.
They offered me some coin in
Oh.
exchange for information from within the pens, but obviously I refused, so I was publicly punished and whipped.
Well, I would have taken the money if it was just me.
Yeah. Thank goodness they didn't catch you.
Well, taking the money and then, work both sides. Figure out what they actually want. Find out, who is their target. But, it's alright, Nis.
To be fair, I did try to cheat my way into that, because I said yes, but they saw through me. I was not in my best capabilities that day, I guess.
Yeah, well. Look,
What
I was hoping to have seen you that night. I was waiting. I was told that I was going to welcome you into the VA as a new initiative. I was going to be your guide, see? Be like a friendly face. N and J back together, but, working alongside to subvert the royal family and commit regicide.
I mean, it's not that I'm not happy, but I don't know. Oh, even if I've been a slave these past few days and everything horrible that has happened, I met these people and they're really starting to rub off on me, I guess.
Right.
So that's good.
Yeah. That turtle guy, yeah, he saved me life too. I owe him everything, I do. Wouldn't be standing here, or sitting here, next to my good friend Nis, with a new title in my name. And, he ended up killing one of them tooth cutters just like that.
What?
Just blam! Bam! Gone!
The tooth cutters?
Yeah, the tooth cutters. They came in and tried to take me out. Okay, I was,
What did you do?
I mean, I just did a little bit of trespassing, alright? It's nothing serious.
Oh, I keep telling you. You just never listen, Jasper. One day they're gonna get you, and they're gonna get you bad.
Real.
And I normally would be there to help you, but this time I wasn't. And what if Carrie wasn't there? And since Lysandra is not here anymore, it's just the two of us.
Just the two of us, eh? We'll, hope you stick around this time, Nis.
I will. If nothing
Promise?
prevents me. I promise.
Pinky swear.
Pinky swear. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Before you guys are gonna leave the tavern, if you have more conversations, fine. Just mindful of whether or not you want to have a quick break.
Refill my water, I guess. If you
Yeah,
want to.
I would like a little toilet break.
Yeah, a minute break or two.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'll be
We'll
back.
Sure,
be
yeah.
back in 2 minutes or so.
Mhm.
Fill my water. Okay. I'm back.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hopefully enjoying its stream. Kind of feel like it's just us on the stream, but nevertheless, people come and go out without.
Hi, stream. Hi, chat.
Hey, me.
Hello.
Hey, friends. Having said that, I do actually look at the playback reel, and there's actually a fair number of people that rewatch. You're listening in, Hemo? That's good.
Thanks.
There's like
Yo.
most weeks are around like 20 replays or something like that. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Nice.
So,
I wonder how
like,
much of that Google bots.
Google bots on browser on Twitch streams? No, that wouldn't be the case.
They're called crawlers. They categorize and
Yeah, but
Get everything.
Twitch streams are non-crawlable. They're set to a robot. Their robot's text is set to no index, so there's no actual crawling. Otherwise, all of Google will be able to. Like, you could search for Epsilon Sun on Google, but you can't.
search by episode. Okay.
Yeah. So it has to be people and various plays. I don't know exactly what constitutes a play. Like, if you have to watch it like in its entirety, or do you have to watch like a portion of it, or is it just person pressing play? But yeah, it's interesting. Got fans, maybe. If you're a fan and you're watching this on Restream, say hi in the chat sometimes.
Yes, please.
Just
Make
the
us
souls
know.
of the old party coming to check in.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. We didn't survive chapter 2. Well, robots text is now sort of like becoming an obsolete methodology. Generally, you just like handle it mostly through Search Console stuff, but modern tech doesn't need a robots text. You just do it on the server side or the DNS side. Okay, we don't have Alex back, but the rest of us are. So, what's the plan, guys? What's the plan? Drinking?
Go back to dad.
Go back to dad?
Yeah.
And go to sleep.
We don't want to sleep first.
Aurora has returned to discipline, so needs to do something.
I mean, with the chance that we can get better accommodations if we talk with him.
True, but Carrickson sat
Yeah.
here and got a slight buzz, so now
Wondering.
One drink.
I mean, Card doesn't need better accommodations. Like, his shell is a 5-star.
I mean, it probably does still feel nice to have some accommodations.
I mean, I'll take it.
Like wind and stuff can be annoying even inside your shell.
Wind underground?
Well, there's certainly some, movement or like other way that can create like wind.
Farts?
For example, or like carts or
That's too, man.
movement.
Yeah, we are in the
Sound.
Sorrows. It's just like there is no wind here. Well,
Look at
except
how
for the wind
stagnant
within
the
our
air
stomach.
is.
Yeah, I did describe it to be kind of rotten and foul. Not saying
Imagine how stagnant the air is. Oh, it smells horrible.
just body
Mag has
odor.
precipitation, so.
That's true, but I don't know if anyone's ever been like underground in like a cavern before, but air purifies through the stone, so generally the air is quite high in mineral content, which is also itself sort of cleaner, or a way to have the air somewhat clear. If something was to die in a cavern in one corner, it's unlikely that you would smell it, because the smell would just be absorbed into the rock.
Okay, guys, can you
Hey.
hear me?
Yeah.
Can you do you see pictures of stuff right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
when I come back with my food, I see this guy has taken my spot.
Well, he wants to play too, you know.
He is
Oh,
now
okay.
Alex.
All right.
He is
So
now-
Moses, you're gonna be playing with us now.
Is his name Moses?
Yes, his name is Moses.
That's
But-
that's my husband's name.
Ask him if he
Oh
casts
my
Meowie
goodness. Meowie ball.
Ball. Meowie Ball.
I don't.
Familiar.
I think he can only cast sleep on
Uh-huh.
himself.
On itself.
Catnap.
Catnap, indeed. Just continue with
Yeah,
short rests.
catnap.
Alright. Okay, so we're heading back to
I guess so.
Soros Local.
Go talk to Daddy.
Daddy
To father.
So as you come
Daddy
out
Cool.
of the hollow tankard, you just look around a little bit and just give you a little bit more information that the Sorrows is a multi-tiered, for lack of a better term, civilization. I don't want to call it like a village or a town. It's more like a place where people have gathered and congregated. There are stairs and platforms leading up to the upper levels, but leading back from where you are, the entranceway has more illumination from gems in the front part of the Sorrows, whereas it sort of dims going into the back to the point where you can't see very much. But coming further down to where you are, you can notice in the far distance to the northwest that there is a very small glow within the distance, almost like for lack of a better term, a light at the end of a tunnel. Dim, but for those with dark vision can pick up the fact that the dim light turns to a regular light. It is also possible to see slightly at your current elevation that's further to the northwest. There are other houses that seem to be further and further dilapidated, but the farthest level to the northwest, before darkness starts to take it, seems to be a large wall, and then beyond that, black. But we exit, and I'm gonna keep Nahav and Listen in the hollow tankard for the time being, because they are hungry and they have no need to talk to you. Oh wait, no. Nahav needs to come.
Yeah, he did say sorry. that he
Jasper
wanted to-
and Listen doesn't need to come though.
You sure she doesn't?
The flame of the
Hey.
Lord.
Flame of the Lord, the flame of your heart.
I wonder if he smokes.
Smokes.
Ha.
He's
Yeah.
smoking.
Yeah.
Well, you just have
You
to.
sure Listen doesn't want to go with us? You sure she doesn't want to listen?
Eh.
Oh,
Oh snap! No, she wants to listen to Flame of the Orange at the moment, but let's
Right.
reduce this. Where's this music? It's a little high. Let's put it there.
Very intense.
Okay, we're gonna do this one. Boom, boom. It's gonna be tense with Daddy. You head back up the slope to the entrance of the Sorrows, and you make your way over to the structure that is almost carved out of the rock face. And I'll just put you back to that visual, really. It's a lot easier. What do you do?
Go inside.
yeah. Do we just walk in like that?
I think Loka just walked in.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
As you trudge over the junk, stone, mud, and rock. You don't make it a stealthy check, and as your footsteps are heard by Ramilla immediately blocks the doorway. And steps in front and says, "So you want to scream some more? Complain some more to someone trying to help? Should I be mindful about the fact that you carry weapons?
Who are you again?
My name is Ramilla.
When you
Oh,
have
yeah.
something relevant to say, speak it. Otherwise, be silent and get
I
my
look
father.
I look at Aurora and Lokar both like she's the one that helped me get back to you guys.
Cool, nice
And
to
she
meet
has
you.
my thanks. Now get my father.
You seem to have calmed down a
Maybe we
little. But he is not
I will
intent
wait.
on actually having another shouting match with you. If you are willing to have a conversation, then I will get him, but otherwise,
Sure.
maybe sleep it off.
Ah, Christ, is this gonna take forever?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we came here because we can have a talk. So, you know. I
I
mean,
will wait.
it's your
Which
judgment
one-
to make, but
I will wait if it pleases her. The rest of you can talk first.
Just want information. We just want to talk to Aurora's father. Like civilized people.
Make a persuasion check, Nissa.
Hee.
What's the hee for? Okay.
that,
Is
that,
the-
that's key.
It's the 20 hee hee.
Titty hee hee.
Nice.
Her posture relaxes as she looks over all of you and says, "Very good." And she'll go back inside, and out comes Alessandro. Boop.
I love his haircut.
His hair is fabulous, as is Aurora's,
Yeah.
but you know.
Yeah,
we
he's
have a good hairdresser.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just wake
genetics.
up like this.
yeah, just woke up.
Alessandra comes out, and you can see on his fingers there is like fresh ink on his forefinger and his middle finger and his thumb, and there's like a smudge of ink on his cheek, and looks you over and clasps his fingers, interlocking them in front of him again, and stands at a gentlemanly like posture, but with a form that is fairly militaristic. Militaristic, as in like it looks like he has been standing to attention for a lot of his life, and looks down from the step that he's on, and says, "I hope you've come to your senses and you have managed to quell the rage within you for the moment. Dregs are not exactly the most eloquent drink, but it does its job. I have every intent of explaining everything, especially now that you are here, Aurora. When a plan doesn't go 100% to plan, it's very easy to find the faults and immediately blame things that have cascading effects when these were not intended. I reiterate, I reassure you that I am here to provide you the information that is necessary should you ask for it. I'll provide whatever data that the VA has. But But I ask in turn that you provide anything that you have learned. It's going to be a whole new world by the time you get to the surface. The last thing I want to have happen is to lose a daughter. Or lose a family. But some things are... And he like sort of swallows hard. Bigger than a family. So tell me, now that you have returned, what is it that you wish to know?
Could we talk out of here? Isn't that a bit dangerous?
There's no one here that wishes to hear about any sort of story. That's why we picked the Sorrows. Nobody cares unless you have some coin in your hand or you're asking for... well, or giving that coin away. There's no one here within earshot.
Right. I guess then, I think the most burning question is, what is or was your plan going forward? Like, what's the idea? Just Tiffion's the new ruler and everything's gonna go well. Are you like working with him? How are you gonna deal with like all the like craziness that's going on? What was the plan here?
The plan was
after
to stop
this point?
Kalik from killing everyone, ultimately.
Right. I get that.
The factions that now have somewhat some power will of course do their utmost to capture as much influence or territory as possible. Rest assured, for the next few months, Gerst, whilst free, from what I've heard, will be difficult to govern. Tithian clearly had his own agenda, but he did not want to kill everyone.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like who you're putting in the pots to govern. Like, what's your running horse here?
Tithian agreed to work with us under the agreement that he would free all the slaves, to not hunt those who can manipulate the weave, those who are able to touch some sort of power. Those are the people that will bring us actual strength in Epsilon. You see, when I was fighting under Kalis, I learned things. Things that essentially put all of this into action. It's been a long time coming, but many pieces had to fall into place before anything could have happened, and some things needed to be forced, some things could fit into their right hole. Under the agreement that Tithian would not hunt magic users or incarcerate the innocent, together we could grow. And all that Tithian wanted was the opportunity to be king.
Hello, I'm sorry. How did Tithian end up being the chosen person to lead the city after Kalik died? Like, who agreed upon this?
My dear, it wasn't exactly like we were rife with options. We needed someone who had some sort of influence. We couldn't just pick someone off the street. Someone that some would follow. Tithian had been head of the Templars for a long time, and If we were to choose a noble house, well, all the nobles will have at each other's throats, and essentially there'll be blood in the streets, both noble, innocent, and peasant alike.
But like, what? Like, you had to make contact with him, right? How did you know that he would not just
Turn on
burn
you.
everything down you worked on? Like,
That
most
I have
Templars
to thank
would.
Melanda. She was
Melanda.
very adept at infiltration. She had a certain set of skills that allowed her to work her way underneath the skin of a man. And Melanda managed to contact or meet up with Tithian. She was the conduit, the voice of the VA to Tithian, and she was the one that managed to convince him that things could be better if he was in power. When
Visions of grandeur.
when Melanda was informed about Karlach's actual ultimate plot, it wasn't hard to push Tithian over the edge to say that it was either his life or he has to work with us. Anyone would have made that choice. We just needed him to do it.
What's the plan with this eldritch being that's walking around?
That is new, and something I'm trying to find more information on about where it came from, how it came to be, because that is still within the catacombs of Gerst, and it will be only a matter of time before it breaks through into a tunnel within Undergerst. I can't have that thing rampage its way through to the Sorrows and murder everyone here.
Do you still have the Sunbeam Lady?
The Sunbeam Lady. She is a very powerful, learned lady, but she is far from home. And she has a lot of complications going on from where she resides. I'm not sure if you know about what goes on within Upsilon these days, but before the war, people could only learn about magics and martials within academies, and she so happens to be, or used to be, the head of a very prestigious academy called the 12 Sisters. Her
Would the name of the academy ring any bells among the members of the party?
I mean, I would try to maybe know something, but
Because I know that Nisa would probably not know shit about it, but
Yeah, Magrim might have some information there, given his history.
Really?
Parks will
Oh.
travel.
Yes,
Okay.
but Karik hasn't left Epsilon.
I know.
Well traveled in Epsilon, but not so much of the world. But Magrim has had contact with an
I mean-
academy before in Blisselm.
Yeah.
I might know some things, like, since we had to face them, like people from that academy, so maybe
Possibly, but
I would not like very basic things though, probably, but yeah.
yeah, I don't.
Pepper knows all the things, though, doesn't he?
Well, Magrim has a very particular background, whereas like Lokar was on a warpath with an army, whereas like your intent was not really about learning history at that point. So
Yeah, it's still like the kind of know your enemy thing, I guess.
yeah, I suppose, but I mean, there's okay. So we can allow both history checks from Magrim and Lokar, but Lokar's DC will be far higher.
Yeah, I mean, I won't make it anyway, so don't worry.
Oh,
But I
you
can
never
at
know.
least,
You've got
roll,
heroic
which is fun,
inspiration,
you know?
right?
It's always fun to roll.
Hey, if you roll higher than 8.
Nope.
Nope.
I'll use my
I did not even roll higher than his died.
Okay.
sure. I'll use inspiration. Why not?
Oh,
Nah.
goodness.
Yay!
Nah.
For me.
Next.
You, Magrim, you're aware purely based on the fact that you have been to one, that is not destroyed. That this is only
Mhm.
a reason why you might get any information about this. When Alessandro starts talking about academies within Upsilon, you're aware that there's like an outlier academy in Blisselm that was purpose built for the learning a certain school of magic.
Yes, and I stole books from them.
And you saw
Great,
books
good
from them. Exactly. But when you were there, obviously, you could have absorbed very little stuff, as the Dice Gods
Yeah.
claim. But
Yeah.
references, as you were thieving, on the walls of the academies, there are generally a list of the academy's achievements and like which academy is doing best, like out of all achievements in terms of its graduates that have achieved the most, which dictates the prestigiousness of these academies. And
Mhm.
on the times that you've been thieving, the 12 Sisters would have been at the top of that list.
Oh shit.
Out of all the academies.
When he mentions the 12 sisters, then Macron just says, "Oh shit."
Indeed, oh shit.
That's like,
What?
damn. I don't know much about them, but guys, you have to trust me. They're one of the more powerful mages in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From Upsilon, I gather.
Far
Yes.
in Upsilon. They managed to the power of Ivirian and her sisters managed to create the first chronomancy. It was only experimental at that time.
They were the ones that did that? What?
The 12 Sisters, indeed. It was expected to be a new school of magic, but then they were infiltrated.
It didn't happen. Because, yeah, man, that's...
According to Aririan, the only instance of chronomancy that actually occurred was saving a group of students and hiding them away from the world, protecting them, so that they could be learned and taught and go out into the world and rectify what went wrong. But after they left,
Yes, that's kind of...
Seems pretty useless to me.
Well, we could be living in one of the universes where they couldn't reach the goal.
after they left, a faction infiltrated, looking to steal this magic, and broke it apart, and Iririan is doing her utmost to try and find and root out those who would claim this new type of magic. So she is not here right now. Her task is done. We needed someone of strong enough power to distract Carlos, to deflect, as we knew he would, to allow our man to throw a purpose-built spear. We couldn't just use Ivirian to get Melanda out, or any of you out. She was an integral cog in the plan. She had to be in a very specific position without drawing attention. I'm sorry.
But you probably have a bunch of other magic users, right? And the whole idea that you guys are gathering them together.
We are no way near as powerful as anyone from the 12 Sisters.
Yeah,
We
of course,
have
but like,
been trying to give asylum to those found to be able to touch the weave. And Alessandra turns to Aurora, kind of in a small way. This will be hard to hear. But seeing things in the war showed me that Carlos was not the savior he promised to become. In fact, Carlos, he had his own agenda beyond Epsilon's, and his war was merely a cover for that. What it was, well, that's still unknown. I managed to distance myself from this war effort earlier than reaching their goal, to ensure my survival once I learned what I had learned, and after moving our family to Gerst, I sought to undermine and loosen the grips of Carlos's most powerful allies in the hope that it would make Carlos more vulnerable. In truth, Kalik was never really the end goal of the Veiled Alliance. It is to destabilize Carlos and his grip on the world. The VA exists in most major cities in Epsilon, and they have the same task to provide shelter for those who could touch the weave and grow. And it's been a long journey to found as many of these resistance groups against those in power, but these sorcerer kings have their own agenda too, to use their Templars to seek out anyone who has magic within their cities. Anyone with the possibility of committing some sort of takeover and killing them. You may not have known it, Aurora, but you were killing those that could harness magic more often than not. You may have eventually even killed your friends here. Further to that, the Veiled Alliance, should they manage to come into any sort of power within any city, it'll become a safe haven for controllers of the weave, also from the roaming groups out there within the wastelands. The days of Nidus, they are still etched into their oaths. And these roaming groups, known as the Purifiers, still seek to exterminate anyone that can touch the weave.
The Purifiers? Well, that sounds ominous.
Has Karik heard of them before?
Roll me a history check.
I'm dumb today.
I was
fine.
actually, I said it in my mind, as long as you don't roll a 1.
Hey, roll a 1.
The Purifiers, whilst the name is different, your elders would have referred to them as the Hunters. The Purifiers are the people that have generally been, part of the group of people that hunt your kind.
Gotcha.
Why do you think Callus has a different plan?
What's on his secret agenda?
I mean, I gather that you
Oh.
don't know his secret agenda, but surely you must have
You have
had a
suspicion.
reason to believe such a thing.
I mean, raising an army of undead, a whole city of workers, you know?
That's Kalak.
Oh, right.
Yep.
They have such similar
Case.
names.
Yeah.
Callus is the
It was
guy
difficult for
in
me early on
Absolute,
too, I have to say.
It's
the guy he wanted to impress.
Right. My bad. Anyway,
Hasn't Callus taken the throne of Nidus and sat over there? He hasn't turned his eyes back here to Gerst, father.
he doesn't need to.
Why?
His agenda was not his, as far as I've come to understand. What didn't sound correct, even though when we were living near Misfar on the family estate, you hear the calls of an upstart, someone who wants to right the wrongs of Epsilon versus Upsilon and to bring posterity and heal the land of Epsilon. It's very easy to get behind that kind of message, especially when you till the land day after day and get barely enough to survive on. So of course I signed up to help that, to be a part of rescuing the country so that I could forge a future for you, so that you wouldn't have to live a hard life like I have. But something never really sat right. This young orc coming out of the west with these messages and being able to sway hundreds of people in his wake, myself included, under this message. Where did he come from? Why did he come to us? Why did he make it? And then when we all marched with him, why was it that he just wasn't at the front line? Where was Callus during the onslaught of Upsilon? Where was he? He wasn't leading the front. That was us. We were there, facing the horrors and atrocities, slaying innocents and people that had no idea that we were coming, killing thousands in his name, under the guise that Upsilon had treated us poorly, and that Nidus was responsible, and this would all be taken care of, and everything will be better when Nidus falls.
I mean, Absalom has treated us poorly. Let's not get things wrong.
Nidus needed to die.
I don't know about that. But
Oh?
certainly, Absalom has always been shunned by them. And, I mean, you have been there. They have enough. They never thought of sharing.
Have you asked?
Nidus ruled for
I've-
eternity, and he never once came to Gerst. Never once
Should I-
alleviated our suffering.
It wasn't
have
his
to-
duties. Nidus was never meant to. In the peace armistice 200 years ago, he showed mercy and allowed Epsilon to survive, and gave it to the people We just so happened to fight amongst ourselves for the scraps when we should have been looking to make things better for ourselves, which is why it resonated so well when Kalis came along.
Then he failed as a king.
He wasn't our king, Aurora. He was never meant to be our king. He gave us freedom when we enslaved ourselves. Kalis had an ulterior motive, and all I can know, based off of all the evidence that I've claimed in fractured evidence from various cities, one thing happened that day when the war ended and Nidus fell. Was the sky darkened and everything became far, far worse. Been investigating a strange disease. It seems to be cropping up in various places throughout the land. With no one around to touch the weave, to cast spells of healing of a suitable strength, we will be like children. Kalis put people in place to ensure that we could never fend for ourselves. Why would that be the case, Aurora, if he wanted the best for us? So,
You know, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I noticed too the non-existence of Callus, I would say. But I would love something concrete. If you have that. Just something. You're saying you're putting people in place, what are you talking about? You're saying he's done this or that behind our backs, what you're talking about. It's just something you can
Kalik,
give us.
that's the evidence right there.
The man who didn't get word from Callus for 20 years.
And yet
You
he
didn't need
still
to.
you didn't need to. Exactly.
It was used by him to quote unquote put someone here to look over his estate. You know, like his home away from home. And he did, so that he could peacefully do whatever he does in Upsilon. Corrupting the lands, as you say. So, he is employed by someone much greater than him.
So General Callis has a superior, an employer.
I mean, he showed up from nowhere, convinced the people. You don't just do that by yourself. Someone is helping him. Something.
It's many stories of people coming out
Or
being war heroes.
maybe he provoked the whole thing and then showed up conveniently to fix everything. Some people do that. They throw you into problems to then manipulate you and save you.
Anyway, so what happened afterwards?
Well, when I learned of the ulterior motive that our freedom, our land was not gonna be what he said it would be, that our lives would not be easier going forward, I had a family. I have a family that I need to take care of. I don't want them to live in fear, so I made the Veiled Alliance as a way to subvert what Kalis was intending of doing and remove those in power, or at least destabilize those that could offer him strength, so that others could rise up without the fear that Kalis is surrounded by people with such unbelievable strength. people at the top that held everyone else down. So by default, no one could rise up against him. I give it to Carlos, it was a genius plan, but after hearing a few of his speeches, I didn't really consider that he had that sort of level of intelligence, because it's genius. Put people in place that just want to do everything for him.
Blind loyalty to an individual is wrong.
And yet that's the world we live in. Unless you help me, Aurora. I can't do everything.
That's what I was gonna ask. What's our role in all of this? Because there must be one, otherwise you wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be here. What's next?
That's kind of down to you. I believe that this is the way to weaken Callus, but I don't know to what extent. I know that there are other cities that hold weavers under their thumb, killing people who can control the power. But we have to come together as a people if we have at all any hope of fighting back with whatever is coming. Because one thing's for sure, Carlos is not going to show up and protect us.
Yeah, I
See?
wasn't counting on Callus. Go on, man.
Yeah, it's just a quick thing. You say how the Veiled Alliance is all around. Is the Scythe perhaps a part of an extension of it? Have you heard of it?
He's going to roll the dice.
Okay.
He twists to the side of his mustache as he thinks contemplatively. I believe that is an order far, far away. They are independent from the Veiled Alliance, but there hasn't been that much information about them coming this way.
Well,
Where the Alliance is more in Epsilon.
I understand. Well, the Reaper is still very much alive, kicking, and on good terms with me. I think that gathering his people, because there's quite a lot of influence. I was able to learn my spells with the help of the Scythe and his organization. And if your agenda is anything to believe, then you could be on the same page. They want Ferelyn to be as independent as they can, and if you guys can collaborate in a way, it would be beneficial for both him, the Scythe, and you, Veiled Alliance.
I will be most grateful to be put in touch with any organization that has similar interests to the Veiled Alliance, of course. As for you, gesturing to Nissa, what's next is, well, in the short term, Aurora's brother and mother are slightly at risk. I am known in the Templar area, and whilst I could attempt to help, they don't take kindly to just me. I've been working in the background, luckily given the space. But, Aurora, you need to rescue your mother and brother. Meet up with Alabaster within the gardens of the Templar district. Find a way out.
Where am I going? After.
Take them to the estate. Venustide.
To Vondor. In the Baron.
The Baron. He will give them safe harbor.
Is he part of your Veiled Alliance too?
No. He's just someone that likes us. We're friends. And his estate outside of Gerst will be the most safe place for your mother and brother. Try
And Alabaster?
Well, Alabaster is part of the Veiled Alliance, but I would hope that you'll be able to find your way back. He knows the secret entrance to the headquarters.
What about Doreen? All these goblinoid goons. You act as if the Templars are splitting between the goblinoids and everyone else.
The Templars are not gonna have the power that they used to have. They drew their power from Kalis, and I made sure that you wouldn't, so that when this time came, you wouldn't be obliterated by not having any ability to connect to any source of power. Doreen very well might be in league with the Order, looking to purge anyone that isn't of her race, to bring Gerst back to a time before Kalis, a pure time according to them. You may hear them as being referenced as the true.
Sounds racist.
Indeed. So find your way to the King's Gardens. Find your mother and your brother with Alabaster. Get them out. Take the Grand Gate if you have to. Take them to the Baron, and I'll do my best to meet you there.
What do you know about this corruption thing?
That's a good question.
I know it's kind of a random jumping question, but
Roll me an insight check.
I shall.
Can I roll an insight check?
Everyone can roll an
Beautiful.
insight check. It's fine. As Lokar
Let's
just
do it.
spits out. What about this corruption malarkey?
Nope.
He said the word before, but
Nope, nope, nope.
Oh, come on,
No, he
guys.
said disease. He didn't say corruption.
really, maybe I misheard that. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking.
he said
Yeah,
disease.
he said disease, but I'm in my mind I connected it to the corruption as well. So
Inissa, you would see that a confused look on his face flashes across his forehead when Lokar says corruption. And he says, I'm not sure if I've come across a term called the corruption. Is that like a colloquial name for something? The disease
He talked
around?
about like a disease that would like catch us all like unprepared or something.
Well, if there is a disease or a plague going through the land, then Well, there's not enough healers, is what I was saying. There's no one enough strong enough to cure so many people before we all get eradicated.
So I'm taking it you don't know what went down in the mine while we were down there?
I have yet to meet up with Alabaster. He only sent me a message that he had arrived safely back in Gerst and that he was protecting my family.
Oh.
Well.
Oh. You see,
So some of us were
You see, we're
how do I say this? Yeah. How do I go about this? Oh Lord.
nothing else? No more
Help.
sound off from him? No?
Nisa, do you want to share it or not?
Let's just tell him.
I mean, if he
guys,
doesn't know
we-
anything about it, I don't know. If it's help.
I mean, it can hurt to tell him, surely.
I don't know, maybe
We're
it helps
kind
someone
of-
who shouldn't know.
They have a magical virus.
Or something.
Some sort of plague. Corrupts
Okay.
them, changes its form every couple of days.
It was underground with this creature. I believe that was channeling the power that was within the mine itself. And through it, this kind of corruption, this sickness, has, well, we've seen it firsthand.
Yeah,
if,
sent us.
Also, the creature was able to make us do things.
It's the kind of thing that's well beyond normal scopes of magic. You said the 12 Sister lady was a powerful mage.
Maybe she could help
You have
with
it? Looking directly at Aurora, you have it?
No, I am not so weak.
He lets out a rather relief sigh, like, and they, oh, wait, and then he looks to you guys, oh, so you mean you have it?
You have a bit of a side eye.
Point to Lokar, Nisa, and I think it's Kark. It's 3.
Yeah. I don't normally smell like shit. By the way. But the fact that now I do is because of this stupid corruption, illness, whatever the heck. And I turn around and pull up my shirt and show him the wound on my back.
Without needs to roll insight, you see for the first time his stoic face is that of fear, sorrow, and almost like like a heavy amount of pity. And he looks at Karek, Lokar, and Nissa with a renewed sense of like urgency, and he looks scared.
I don't
Yeah,
think we have any reason to be scared if it's spreading amongst us. Nobody else. I mean, I haven't been with you guys the past few days, but y'all all been together, and nobody else has started feeling odd, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look to
No.
be contagious.
But
There's
still,
a slim
if you,
possibility me and Mag are immune.
yeah, I
I
doubt it.
mean, you can easily distribute it if you take like whatever was in this pool and splash it onto people. That's how we got in the first place.
Right.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
it-
I
it-
drunk
it-
from a
Well, you drank. It was thrown
guys,
onto me.
Sir, Viturin, would you happen to have any people that could use restoration spells? Perhaps we could fight off this kind of disease with our own means.
He like
Yeah,
like
maybe a paladin.
looks at you guys like as if he's looking at someone who's just told them that they have terminal cancer.
Oh, come on. Don't give us that face, Mr. Father.
I don't think it's really that bad yet. It might get
Oh,
worse.
well, Carrick, you cannot see it from this side.
Hey.
I only have started hearing about this, but this disease, it doesn't go away. It just gets worse.
No.
Maybe
I'm sorry,
Have heard
what?
of this?
there have only been rumors of perhaps some form of cure that has just come out, but they are in the north. These rumors, they come out of Upsilon. Some group of people, they managed to synthesize some sort of cure, but information is very patchy. What I have heard is that others who have contracted this disease, it can't be removed from with lower, like, rudimentary healing. It's
But
like
can it be removed
That's what I'm saying.
at all?
There has
Well,
been
we're gonna have.
whispers
Sounds
of
like
a
it's-
cure from coming out of Upsilon. But everyone that I have heard that has had it down here ends up dying.
No.
Oh,
No,
great, I'm
this-
gonna die.
You're
This
not
can't
allowed to
be.
die until we get you out of your pact, Nisa.
We have to head north then.
I cannot die. Look, I cannot afford to die. That is not
We
a
can-
consequence that I'm going
we
to just
We
accept.
cannot let you. We cannot let you, Carrick, or Lokar.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
I mean, it hasn't killed us yet. These are
Yet.
all
Well,
rumors. that I'm hearing.
And it better fucking not.
For all we know, we could be dead tomorrow. That's just fucking
I mean,
great.
everyone dies at some point.
Oh, shut up, Lokar.
That's not what's important, right?
Sorry, sorry, Lokar. You can see that. You can see that Nisa is starting to panic a little bit, like kind of pacing back and forth and running her hands through her hair and over her face.
Yeah, no,
I'm going-
Mag is doing the
I'm
same
sorry.
thing. He's like thinking of
Have you-
things to do.
You two
Have you
are
seen-
perfect for each other.
Have you seen anyone with the corruption?
Is that what you're calling it?
I don't know.
It's not a
sounds good.
poison.
What do you call it?
It's not a poison.
Feels-
It's not a sickness.
I have made a check on my body and it feels like something inside moving, kind of disrupting.
And
Don't
the
say that.
corruption
Don't say
it will
that.
be
Don't say
called. Ramilla, redouble your efforts to find out more information about this corruption. Find out from the other VAs, from the various cities around, if they have had any more reports of anyone with a certain disease with, you say, crawling within, and that wound. Take some details of that, how it looks, and maybe give the girl some soap.
Soap would solve it.
I'm just
I keep
saying it
telling
would be good to know what happened to other people that had similar things,
Listen,
and
Listen,
maybe
if
that would be an
precipitation
understanding.
that doesn't work.
Sorry,
I can
Luca.
eat the soap.
We're going to need to talk to a very powerful cleric, Father. One far more powerful than me.
And thanks to Kalis and Kalik and all of the Sorcerer Kings in the various cities, they've managed to keep all sorts of power under control. So you're gonna have to find some city that is beyond the reach of Kalis. or some other way of trying to find out where strength can be had, because it's sure as shit not gonna be here in Gerst. And at a very long stretch in any of the cities that the VA are in, otherwise I would have already heard of a cure. The only instances are coming out of Epsilon, but that doesn't mean that someone else isn't on the threshold too. You have choices.
Might as well ask me to find a dragon.
Well, whatever it takes to help your friends, Aurora. So, I will collect a few things, and I will bring them to the Baron's estate in the hope that you will actually bring your mother and brother. I'm sure Nico is worried, and I'm very upset. He goes inside briefly and comes back out and says, I know you're gonna need guidance, Aurora. And I know I can't be there if you intend to go out into the wastelands. But let this sword of the family guide you. And he presents to you a sword that you have seen before. That was mounted on the wall in his office. It is a short sword with a purple wrapped hilt and wings that form, like short wings that form the hilt, like a shining gold, and inert runes down the blade.
That's really cool.
You
What
know
is
this.
this?
You know this blade as Silversong. And he hands it to you. He hands it to you and says, "Before you go, let us complete the ritual. But take it, knowing that I will always be thinking of you."
You never fully explained what the ritual was, Father.
Come to
Said it
me.
was a port.
Come to me before you sleep. At midnight? Just you.
Fine.
You can find
And
Silver
tell us
Song
about
in
it.
D&D Beyond if you need to take a look at it.
No way.
We're going on adventure.
Everyone goes to look it up to see what it is.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Nope, never.
Let me just.
I just get all the cool weapons, let's be real.
Yeah, you don't have a
Oh.
single cool weapon. Oh, you have a whip. Okay.
I have a whip.
That you flagellate on yourself.
That's really cool. The sword chooses its bearer.
And with that, we will end today's session slightly earlier than usual, but I think we've got up to a good point.
There's
Goddamn.
something that Locarso wants to ask. We can do
Oh, do you have something to ask right now?
Few minutes.
Well, yeah, kind
Okay,
of.
yeah, for sure.
mean-
So I thought because the questions were coming in very slow, so I just wondered.
Yeah, no, he just was waiting until this
Okay,
is
go
like
ahead. Yeah, yeah.
his
Well, we've got a few
personal
more
thing.
minutes.
So yeah, it's
Okay.
just his
I'm
personal
gonna
thing.
die.
I still have a very different question. You were part of the war, right? You know, you were in the higher ups, from what I've heard from Aurora. Is that correct?
I wasn't too high up. I was a part of the war. I only just so happened to get this role within the Templars within Gerst because of my involvement in the war.
Do you know anything about a crypt near Merlington?
You're gonna have to be a bit more specific about that because there's crypts all over the world, sir.
I'm saying this because whoever has this greater plot in mind, not my first time getting in contact with it, I think. And if we are all looking for answers, then that is a place that you might want to figure stuff out on. It is near Mellington, and I remember a statue, a lot of blood. Whatever happened there, it might be.
Yeah. Gonna roll the dice.
The gargoyles, sides. Can't quite make out the face.
He twists his mustache again. And thinks for a second. He's like, well, I'm not exactly sure what crypt you're referring to, but if it's outside of Merlington, well, maybe I can direct you to someone that was involved with missions and objectives out of there. I didn't make it too far past Tumulus Echo.
Understandable.
After Serendon, I was kind of done. If you made it all the way to Merlington, well, you have more stomach for Callus's journey than I did, so kudos to you.
Difficult to do anything else. I
will research what I can through my connections. And should we meet again in the estate outside, I'll give you what I know.
Right. Guess Melinda was right. You got something to give me?
I have connections in this world that offers a lot.
That's all.
He looks around at anyone else who seems to feel like they have any outstanding questions. Magrim?
Well, right now, no. But I will after the game, probably. I always get a lot of questions afterwards.
You do.
Right now, though,
Okay.
I have one thing that I wanted to say to him.
It's a dad joke, isn't
Yes.
it? Okay. We'll end the session on a dad joke. Go.
Mr. Return.
He looks very serious at you.
Magram smiles and says, I've been told of your sense of humor, and I wanted to see for it myself. So, what's the difference between a tuna, well, a fish and a piano?
He looks completely shocked in this turn of questioning, and taken completely off guard. He blinks several times in a row and goes, No idea.
You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
He like stares at you.
Die!
And roll a perception check.
No way. No way. 5.
Damn.
Oh.
You get the impression that his he's not in the frame of mind to like deal with this joke, or the fact that he was trying to put two and two together, like this is not a joke. And he's like, he goes around and like furrows his brow, and he's like, tuna fish, tuna, and he like turns around, twisting his mustache as he's like thinking on it, but he goes, "Thank you, I will think on this greatly." Tuna.
I know.
Tuna.
We will meet again. That's all. That's just me.
Okay. And he goes back inside, and you're left standing on the foothill entrance to the Sorrows. And just as you're about to head back down, you can hear in the depths of this building a hearty laughter.
Hey.